What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Delicate Plan podcast. I am your channel host, Primitive, and as always, I got the most epic co-host of all time who is staring across from me, Dante. What's going on, man?
Oh, good, Prim. How you doing, man?
Dude, I am doing good. We are here live on Twitch this week once again, as we kind of talked about the last time we did this. Whenever we're going to go over set reviews, do it live. So if you are interested in checking these out, make sure you join the Discord and follow me on Twitch, so that way you know when we are doing this live. But we are going to be going over BT8 today. This is a pretty sick set. It's kind of funny to go over this because it's like feels like we're just starting in BT7. And so I've been playing a bunch of BT7. I saw you yesterday playing your Dorugoromon. Or no, you were playing Alphamon against Dorugoromon.
Yeah, I changed the deck up. I had deck profile coming here in this next week. You know, just do the rough draft of it, and you know, just gotta get some input on how I should change it up. I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it was interesting. I saw you were having some interesting techs in there, so it's feeling good. But
Oh yeah.
getting on into BT8, I mean, this set is pretty crazy because for a multitude of reasons, but the main one and the most obvious one is we are having dual color cards. And we have a lot of different combinations of dual color cards, like as far as the colors that are combining. And I'm a pretty big fan of that. I've been excited about this ever since it was announced. I thought it was going to really change a lot. I think it really makes a lot of older cards better. Like, let's say, for example, Davis, which is already a very fantastic card, is a card that will be much more consistent. Cards that search out for specific colors, like things like the Scorpiomons or Flamemon, stuff like that search out specific colors. You can fit those in different colored decks because of dual color. And so, like, I think this dual color mechanic is going to make the Digimon metagame like a lot different, just because you're going to be able to combine a lot of older cards that maybe didn't get a lot of use into other cards, just because you can search out different stuff, and you can kind of just play dual color for the first time without it being potentially bricky.
Yeah, like you know, we talked about so much about a purple yellow hybrid or blue green and Paramon, but now that dual colors are coming out, we have a lot more synergy to smash together too. I mean, even if somebody wants to play like a green black or a green red black, you actually now have cards that synergize with the two different lines that you want to go into
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to deck building. So it opens up so many possibilities and so many combinations of cards. Like you said, something like Davis now has its you know its grabability range just doubled
Mm-hmm.
off the bat, to where now instead of just like red and green, you got
Blue,
blue
green.
and green, you got blue green, you got blue yellow, you got green red, you got green black. Like, there's so many variants. Like, Davis can grab just about any color in the game now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's really cool. The thing that's a little bit, I think it makes sense, but it's a little bit sad, is the lack of dual color Digitama, you know?
Yeah, I wanted that. I wanted the Digitamas to be like, and let maybe like a BB mine be like green red, or
Uh-huh.
a
I
GG
think
mine
I
be
think
like that.
I think that having the like one of each color, like how we always have, is nice, but like we could add in a couple eggs. You don't have to be like every color combination, but you could get like
Right.
a purple black egg in there, like a red green egg in there or something, just something crazy.
Like, it's just so. And I think I get it.
I mean, it would be
You know,
insane.
yeah.
First of all, it'd be insane because we already have rookies and stuff that are going to be able to digivolve onto different colored Digitama as it is. Like, we can see right now, we can see the Hawkmon, we can see the Padamon. I mean, it's like the Vmon. You can already digivolve some of these rookies onto different colors, but if you had multicolored Digitama, you could literally just play the craziest rookie combinations, because you would be able to digivolve into both.
I mean, and my thing is, it would make my dream come true to play a Rainbow Leopard Mine deck like I wanted to play back in DT3.
All right, so let's get on into these Digitama then. We got the red one, Gurimon. When attacking once per turn, this Digimon has 6k DP or more. If this Digimon has 6k DP or more, trigger draw one. Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Not
I
bad
like
at all.
it. It's a red egg that gives you draw, and getting 6k in red is really not that hard, considering that they have so many like buffs, and just a lot of Digimon are already kind of in that 6 to 7k range for champions anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's actually a pretty good egg.
And then we got Hiyarimon, which my favorite card art from these Digitama. This thing is adorable. All turns, while your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. This gets a meh from me.
Yeah, yeah.
This gets a
It's a
certified
little
meh.
below standard.
Yeah.
I mean, with things like Upamon and those kind of cards, like it overshadows this card.
I think this is just a very high like requirement for a really low payoff. Because we have other ways to gain 1000 DP with like Digi-Eggs by having like 8 cards and stuff. This is your opponent has to have no Digimon with Digivolution cards. So if they have one, then you're not getting the 1k. It is all turns though, which is actually pretty big because the egg that we have is only a your turn egg right now. So all turns is pretty big, but I feel like it's not. It's gonna be pretty easy to play around.
Yeah, it's too big of a cost. It's too big of a cost.
Yeah.
Like if you said 2 or more Digimon with no Digivolution cards, then I'll be like, yeah, that's fine.
Because I mean, there's like things where it's like if they have no Digimon, obviously, then you're good.
Right.
If you're able to, if they have one Digimon, you're able to strip it, you're good. But if they have multiple Digimon, or if they go into a hybrid or anything, it's just there it goes. You can like play over
It's
it
an
too.
early game card. It's an early game card, most likely.
Yeah. Fremon for yellow, your turn. While you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gets plus 1k DP. I think this is fine.
Yeah.
This is a lot more manageable. This kind of makes sense in yellow to be having 3 or more security cards, and the plus 1k DP is like, I don't know, it could maybe be influential. I don't really see it being more useful than maybe the minus 1k eggs that we have now with like Koromon and Pikmon, or just like, I mean, yellow has some pretty good eggs. You have Upamon, you have the Cupidmon, you have I mean, the Fremon's also going to be a pretty good yellow egg, but I feel like it's a little less good from the other eggs.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is probably what the 3rd best egg in yellow right now.
It depends, because I think I would put Pikmon and Upamon up there. So I think it would be competition between Koromon and this, probably for sure.
I mean, if you playing like a Rasenmon deck or something like that, that you can control your security very, very well. I mean, then this is a perfect egg for you. Then.
I mean, this would even be good going into it because we're still gonna have Jet Sylphie and stuff like that, so you're gonna be able to do multiple different cheap recoveries, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, I can
We got
see that.
Bibimon. Do you know what the little baby next to this Bibimon is called? Because I'm a fan of it.
I do not the top of my head. No.
Alright, well whatever this little Digimon is amazing. I'm a big fan of it. Bibimon, opponent's turn. While all of your Digimon are suspended, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP.
It looks like they have all their, because these are in training Digimon. So
They're the in trainings.
and there's a level below that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it looks like they have all their prior Digivolutions in there.
I don't really like Bibimon.
No, not at all. Because you have to have them all suspended.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have more than just the Digimon that this is attached to suspended, that's kind of a big commitment, because then things can get attacked over.
Well, I will say this.
I think here's the thing though. The 1k DP when eggs, when they have this high condition, I feel like aren't as good.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's only one niche to this, and that's in Shivamon.
Right.
Which Shivamon, I believe, is in this set, but this is the only like this DGA will go perfect in Shivamon, but outside of that, like 9 times out of 10, you're not using this BB Mon.
Yeah, no. Then we got Kyo Kiyomon, Kyo Kiyomon. I don't know how to say that. I think I'm a Kyo Kiyomon.
Kyo.
That sounds right to me. I'm not sure, but your turn, once per turn. When an effect places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, it gets plus 1,000 DP till the end of your opponent's next turn. So, I mean, this is just you play the 4 Doraemon in one of these, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can even play a 2-3 line, but
yeah, you can play a 2-3 line. But the thing is it's really good because it's until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Correct.
So it's active during your turn and the next turn, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, like.
So we said Dokimon like is the name of the BBmon's form. Dokimon.
Ah, Dokimon. Yes, like when it comes to like playing stuff like Final, Zubagan Punch, just giving this extra 1,000 to the end of your opponent's turn, it's a lower ceiling for you to gain reboot blocker, all those things. So you have a giant blocker as well. So you can do many different things when it comes to this DGA. It's good, but Doraemon's just better.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking like 4 Doraemon, one of these.
Yeah, Doraemon.
I feel like it just becomes that 5th egg.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we got another Demi-Marimon. Demi-Marimon, is he the Digimon with the most Digi eggs?
I want to say yes. He has 3, maybe 4. If not him, then Digimon.
Because he's got 2 purple and the red.
2 purple. I think is he a black too? Oh no,
I don't think so.
I think he might have 3.
We're getting another Demi-Marimon. So, Bandai loving the Demi-Maras. Your turn, once per turn. When a card is trashed from your deck, draw 1.
Like he's a Pseudomon. From your deck, never mind, not from your hand.
Yeah.
So this
it's like milling from the top.
Yeah. So this goes good with like Beelzemon Blast Mode and that kind of deck.
It's one of those decks where if you're doing this, it's good. It's just one of those cards. Yeah. I think I give Dairy. I don't think it really can be bad because it's just this is one of those eggs. If we look at like the other eggs that are like plus 1k DP, they're a little more generic as to where this is like if you're playing a deck where you want to be doing this, here's your egg. Correct. And so it's gonna be bad in a lot of purple decks and gonna be good in some.
I mean, you play Analog Boy. The egg is never dead.
Well, it's not trashed. It's revealed from the top and then trashed.
You're right.
I don't think that counts.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I know there's a memory boost coming in this set that actually helps this, so
yeah.
I can see that.
So now we're going to be starting off in the normal Digimon Card.dev order. So we're going to be going red first with some dual color reds. So starting off, we got the Gazimon, just another red 2-drop 3k vanilla to add on to all the other ones they have. Gambamon, your turn, once per turn. When you play a red tamer, trigger draw 1, and the inheritable when attacking. If this Digimon has 6k DP or more, destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. I mean, this seems pretty good.
That is good.
It seems pretty good.
That hits, what, like 70% of the rookies, 80% of them?
That's a lot of rookies, and I think the thing is when you play a red tamer, trigger draw 1, because this is one of those cards where there's a lot of different decks that are revolve around red tamers when it comes to red decks, and we even have like the Flamemon from BT7 where it's like you can play the Takuya for free inheritable, so it's like this card I feel like is just really good utility all around.
Yeah, it is. Like that just a draw card is great in itself. Like period.
Hawkmon. On play, so Hawkmon can digivolve onto both yellow and red eggs. Pretty big to note. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 2-colored card with red from among them to your hand, return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. So, just a pretty generic dual color searcher. Can be played in both red and yellow eggs. Seems pretty decent.
The on play is amazing. Grabbing any red dual color combination like it opens us the like remember how we was talking about Davis being able to just grab really any card in the game.
Hmm.
Pokemon can reach about half of the cards in the game right now with the red and the and all the dual colors. Like this is actually a very good card
Hmm.
when it comes to red.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Aquilomon can Digivolve onto red and yellow, level 3s. When playing this card from your hand, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, reduce its play cost by 1. So you can on-play this for 3 if you got a yellow Digimon in play, so it's pretty decent. And then when attacking, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon of 5k DP or less. I mean, so here's the thing. Bauhuckmon is pretty good, and it does the same inheritable. But this is a champion that can be played for 3, can be digivolved into 2 different colors, and having a yellow Digimon in play is a pretty low commitment for a pretty decent inheritable.
Yeah, I was just reading over the Haribo again. Like that's actually pretty darn good. Being able to pop 5k DP or less, meaning one cost of evolution blockers won't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like and then committing 3 memory for a champion. Like you can commit 3 memory for a rookie. You can commit 3 memory for a champion.
Yeah.
Like this is actually a very good card.
Because here's the thing, a lot of cards that are like this, where you're playing them for super cheap, don't really have this good of an inheritable.
Right. Like being able to pop something.
Mm-hmm.
That
And it can work in dual color because it can digivolve on top of 2. So
that's actually good. I like that.
it's pretty good. I'm a fan. Let's go Cyclonemon. Red, black. So it can obviously digivolve onto red and black rookies. No effect, but inheritable. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2k DP or less. I mean, it's dual color, so it's got that going for it. But I mean, when we're looking at Aquilomon, and then I look at this, I mean, it feels like a worse Aquilomon, but it's for like a whole different archetype. But I don't know. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2k DP less is like nice, but that 3k is usually that kind of sweet spot for rookies where if you're deleting 3k or less, you have a lot broader options than 2k or less. But I mean, it is a red black, so it's gonna be good for that. But I think its inheritable is it's just okay. I think it's okay.
Yes, man, you're right. Like if it was 3k,
If it'd be 3k, this card would be pretty good. I like right now it's at like sitting at like a 4.5 to 5 for me, and if that's at 3k DP or less, I think that would bump it up to like a 7. I think it'd be pretty good dual color with just a generally decent inheritable, and it's still a generally decent inheritable. It's just that, like I said, the sweet spot for 3k is a really big difference for something like this.
Yeah, like my whole thing is if this was like a red yellow, then the 2k would make more sense because yellow can reduce DP to get it to that 2k to then delete it.
I mean, red has these kind of effects, and it's like a red card. Because if it was yellow, it would probably be give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2k DP, because it's like for example, we just talked about Bauhuckmon and Aquilomon have those kind of effects. So this is kind of more of like a red inheritable that's attached to a half card that can be played in black.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't do too much for me. But then, and then we got Flamedramon. Love this. Love this. Red, blue. We of course got Armor Digivolve. So you can go on top of Vmon for 2. And we do have a new Vmon that we're going to be looking at. Plus, all the Vmons that we have already are pretty good. So it's going to be pretty good. And then, of course, Armor Digivolve is pretty good because when it will be deleted, you can trash the top card of this Digimon to prevent that Digimon from being deleted. So it's like its own decoy type thing, or it's just got its own defense. So it's pretty good. And then when attacking, this Digimon gains 3k DP for the turn. So this card, I think, is just... I think all the Armor Digivolves are pretty good, but red and blue is a very good color combination to have for a card. There's a lot that you can do with that, especially when you can Digivolve up onto Vmons. So if you have like a blue base, you can go with Vmons, and which gives you like those jamming Vmons. which is already going to be good. You can go up into this. Once you go up into this, then you could even go up into a red ultimate, and then keep going. And then it's just, when attacking, you get 3k DP for the turn. So it's a level 4 with 8k, essentially, on your turn. And, yeah, I think this card's sick. And I just love the Digimon. This is the homie.
It's amazing. For it to Digivolve on any Vmon for a 2 cost. Doesn't say, I mean, like, seriously, like, any Vmon, like, the Vmon could be a green Vmon, and it's for a 2 cost. So, really, like, this card is way more amazing than a lot of people think. Like, attacking 8k, like, Lady Devilmon's at 8k. Like, that's a level 5 Digimon. So imagine having a champion that has armor that punches in with 8k. That's good. Like, that's extremely good. Like, that's instant 8, like 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, this card's just sick. I don't really know if there's much else to say about this. This is sick Digimon, amazing card. Battle Gamamon. So a level 4 with Blitz. 6k Blitz. So this is really interesting because we have a level 5 Blitz that is, I believe, 8k. And so then we got a 2 to Digivolve 6k Blitz. So, I mean, it's almost really basic, but I actually think the fact that it's 2 to Digivolve with 6k Blitz is pretty good.
It's cheap.
Seems fairly aggressive. It's like probably not a card that you play a bunch of, but you could probably play one of these and get away with it, like being pretty decent.
I mean, this ends. If you haven't played Digimon, you know Blitz ends games.
Blitz ends games.
Like, so just for you, like, oh,
it's for 2 to Digivolve, which is about as small of a commitment as you can get going into a champion.
Exactly. So yeah, like, I think it's a little bit above average. Like, being that Blitz is not a bad thing to have whatsoever. Like that thing, you can do some damage, even if it's supersized into the last security stack. Like,
I mean, 6k is a pretty decent DP to survive. It's like not the best. It's like 7k is a little bit better, but I mean 6k is pretty good. I mean, if we look at the other level 4s that we've gone over so far, it would swing into all these and survive in security. So I mean
we've seen 1k Goblimons swing in security and live. So I'm pretty sure this card would be okay swinging security.
Scorpiomon, or just generic level 5 vanilla 2-drop or 2 to Digivolve. But then we got Sylphimon, which is a red yellow. So we already have Sylphimon that is on your turn. It's a red card that has the effect your turn. This card is yellow. But now we have just a full red-yellow Sylphimon. And it's got DNA Digivolve, red level 4 and yellow level 4 for 0 cost. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k DP for the turn, which is already pretty huge. Then if this Digimon DNA Digivolved, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. With the inheritable, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. So, like, if you're playing a deck that has a bunch of 5k DP or less Digimon, this card's coming for you. And I already feel like this is pretty decent because it's basically saying when Digivolving, give minus 5k DP to 1, which is probably going to pop something, and then pop another one if you DNA'd. So it's like, bruh.
Yeah, so any Digimon that's 10k or less DP is getting deleted.
Yeah, true.
Period.
Yeah. You can go wide, you can go tall.
Exactly. Like, this card is, and then for it to be a DNA Digivolve or Jorgen's Digivolution, if people, are confused by two, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
But just being able to have that ability to, oh yeah, I'm gonna just delete this Digimon and then delete that Digimon. It's like, wait, what?
Yep.
And I get to swing again. So yeah.
Pretty good. I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah, I think this is good. Yes.
Then we got our first red-green card, right? With the Master Tyrannomon. 4 to Digivolve from level 4 red and green. So pretty big commitment. The last one was also level 4 to Digivolve, but you can DNA into it. So this one we have your turn. All of your Digimon with Tyrannomon in their name gets Sec +1. So And then it has the inheritable of security attack +1. So, I mean, if you're playing a Tyrannomon deck, this has got to be just staple.
It's a 4-of.
Yeah, this has just got to be your, like, #1 ultimate. If you're giving all your Tyrannomon security attack +1, I don't know if I really believe in, like, the Tyrannomon deck right now. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but, I mean, this is probably the best Tyrannomon card I've seen come out so far.
Yeah, you'll probably have to play, like, some vanilla Tyrannomon beatdown deck. Because I know the red level 5, it's like 10k DP. So giving something 10k DP with +1 security is not bad at all.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's got its own inheritable, so when you go on top of it, too, you can just swing with security attack +1.
I mean, hidden potential into Rush Tyrannomon for security +1. There you go.
That is pretty funny. Then we got the ultimate Brachiomon, which is just a X antibody 13k 3 to Digivolve level 6 red black. I mean, I don't. It's red black, so that's kind of cool. But I mean, it doesn't do anything.
Highly underrated, but it's kind of a little under the radar. Like, I will say this.
I mean, 13 for 3 to Digivolve is pretty huge.
It is.
So it's definitely a big beat stick, and this is probably like the biggest vanilla beat stick mega that we've seen. My only problem is that usually when I go into a level 6, I want it to like do something crazy.
It impacts.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Final Zubab Punch though makes it 16k sack +1.
Yeah, this is like the draft card king.
Yep, I 100% agree with that. Like, this bad boy is big for no reason.
Marsmon, your turn. This Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon.
That's underrated.
It's underrated, but I'm still going to have to give it a meh. And I'm going to have to give it a meh for 2 reasons. One, so the being able to attack over your opponent's unsuspended Digimon is a very good effect. I ran 2 Ikakimon at Nationals, which obviously they had to be Digimon with no Digivolution sources, and it was really good, but it was a champion, and I feel like the Mega is a little big of a commitment to be able to do this. And also, one of the things I don't like is usually when Digimon that are Megas have 11k, I really need them to be something like decently impactful, like for example Shine Greymon's 11k, but it clears the board and then you gain +1k for every yellow tamer you have on the board, so it's a lot more impactful. So I feel like this is going to be a lot easier to clear off the board. It's not going to live in security checks as much. You are going to be able to swing over unsuspended Digimon without the condition of them having no Digivolution sources, so that's going to be pretty good. I don't know. This is like, I feel like it's meh. I feel like it can definitely get used, but it goes back to like, this doesn't feel like enough impact for me. If it had like 12, 13k DP, we'd be talking.
Yep, and that's what I was just about to say. Like, if this was 12k, and it wouldn't be crashing to the most basic level 6 Digimon. Like, it would actually be over them to where its effect would be a lot better. Then I would give it a bigger score. But yeah, it's a man. It's a 4.5 at most for me.
Yeah, I just meh. Okay, I don't know how to say this Digimon's name, but this Digimon's crazy. So, when Digivolving, your opponent chooses one of their Digimon, delete all Digimon in play except this Digimon and the chosen Digimon, and gain 1 memory for each Digimon deleted by this effect. And then your turn, when your opponent's Digimon are deleted, this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn for each of your opponent's deleted Digimon. So...
Jeez.
So,
I'm just saying.
It's insane. I'm trying to even think about what to say. I mean, you're Digivolving for 5, right? So that's pretty big, but you're getting a board clear, and if it stays onto your turn, you're probably swinging like 5 checks at 13, which is probably boosted by your inheritables. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways to be able to get to 5 memory now between tamers, dual tamers, memory boosts. Like, whatever, you know, like you can make this a thing. And we saw early on, like when this first came out in Japan, people were playing this card, and it's insane. I don't know if this is like one of those like I'm gonna put 4 of it in my deck, but I mean, you could. This is like Nidhogg, right? Like, when you play a deck in the past couple metas, you don't really play a Nidhogg deck, but if you play a deck that's running that, you can run 1 or 2 Nidhogg in there, because it just does that really sick board clear type effect. And this is that, but, like, to a whole different dimension of craziness.
This card is insane. I think they looked at Zulanamon and was like, okay, he was underwhelming. Let's go ahead and make every Digimon Siren from this point forward busted in some way, shape, or form. Like, they just took, like, this is insane. Like, this is a game ender. This is 100% a game ender.
Yeah, if you're a deck that goes wide and this comes out on you, you're done.
Yeah.
If you're a deck that just builds up 1 stack, it pretty much doesn't do anything to you, which is why I say that you probably don't, like, play this as a 4 of, but, I mean, what other cards do we have that have, like, this impact, like, this level of impact at, like, one point in time? Outside of things like Nidhogg and, Nidhogg, Ultimate Flare.
Yeah, but then those are, you know...
Schwartz.
No, Nidhogg, yeah, it's a 5 to Digivolve like this. Ultimate Flare is an 8.
But they don't get security attack +1.
Yeah, right, and then, like, don't gain their memory back to actually potentially push with that security attack +1 for every card.
And even if you Digivolve into this and pass turn and it comes back in your turn, you just delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Oh, okay, I guess I'll just swing 2 checks at 13. No big deal. You put this on top of the other Digimon that we saw that have the inheritables that you're given -5k, you're deleting 5ks or less, so you're swinging, you're deleting 2 Digimon, you're getting 3 checks.
Like this card's insane. Like,
I'm a fan of this card. I've been a fan of this card ever since it was revealed. I haven't really seen it played that much, so I don't know the full level of impact that it has, but I can say to 100% certainty that I am a huge fan of this card. I'm not like the biggest fan of red cards, as I'm sure a lot of people know. Some of the red megas, they just don't really vibe with me with the way they work, but this card is just like it's like a Swiss Army knife of like board clear and aggression.
Rest in peace, Waymon decks.
Yeah,
totally kills it.
So what are we giving red out of 10? With the dual tamers, what are you giving red out of 10?
You know what?
Or the dual color?
I have to give it. A.
And obviously, we have more red cards to go over later, but just those are gonna be tamers and options, you know.
Yeah, I think the Hawkmon, Quillamon, the Flanger, and the Digimon 7 really carried the color. The Sylphimon's good.
The Sylphimon's good. I think I'm a fan of this. I'm gonna be honest. The Gamamon's really good. The Hawkmon and Quillamon are pretty sick. I think the Cyclomon, although we kind of underrated it a little bit, and I still do, I think just red-black is a good color combination. Flamegermon's sick. Like, most of this was pretty cool with some letdowns. So, yeah. I'm a fan. Now, getting on into blue, we got a blue Padamon, and I love this art. I think he looks hilarious. End of your turn, you can DNA Digivolve this Digimon and your other Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand by paying its DNA Digivolve cost. And this is a blue card that can Digivolve on top of blue and yellow Digitama, and it's Padamon. I love Padamon.
So, let me get this straight. So, as an inheritable on a champion, you're able to DNA Digivolve with another card from your hand onto this Digimon. So this Digimon becomes a DNA Digivolve Digimon. Is that what that's saying?
Yeah, so you're gonna have a champion and you're gonna be able to DNA Digivolve it with whatever you need to DNA Digivolve into to play it, but it's an end of turn effect. So it's just like, oh, if you Digivolve into this and then it resolves and it's the end of your turn, you just boom.
That makes you skip a step almost, basically. Like, you Digivolve into a champion. Oh, it's the end of my turn, and I'm a DNA Digivolve into,
whatever you need. It's dual color. You don't even know what you're putting on top of this yet.
Exactly. That's.
Dude, this set is getting me hyped, bro.
That's actually
And we're not even getting into it, but like, oh man, I can't wait to play this set. It's gonna be so fun.
So much to go.
Man, I've played like 1 or 2 sets of it on TTS, but it's just when there's gonna be actual cards in the hand, and we're at the shop, and everybody there has these cards. Man, this is gonna be so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Vmon. So we were talking about Vmon earlier, right? With the Flame Dramon. So now we got another Vmon. Which can digivolve on green and blue Digitama. It's got a really good looking art, and it has on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 2-color card with blue from among them to your hand, and return the remaining to the bottom of your deck. So this is just like the Hawkmon that we were talking about earlier, except for blue. So I'm sure we can be expecting to see this for each color. But the thing is unlike the Hawkmon and maybe the ones that we see in the future, this one being a Vmon is already a pretty big deal, just its name. And also having the free type is also pretty good in things like the Imperial Dramon. So this card is, whatever I give Hawkmon, I give this 1 point higher, at least.
Yeah, the reach is so much vastly like more efficient than red. Like this reach is amazing. Like if Hawkmon is 7, you give this Vmon an 8 instantly. Like it's a Davis. It's a Davis. That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. And it digivolves up, so it's fun. And then we got Snow Agumon. So before we get into it, Snow Agumon is awesome. When this card was announced, I got very excited just because we need more Snow Agumon. We need to get like Clear Agumon in this game too. I want to go ahead and get a petition for Clear Agumon. We need all the Agumons. On play, trash the top Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. So... yeah? I mean... yeah?
I mean, yes. I think this is just like how you would trash the bottom. It's just as impactful as the top. Yeah. I think it's a little better than meh, just because how blue wants to play, and a lot of blue that's to want to trash.
Well, I don't know if I was like as like a meh. It's just like yeah. I mean, this is just it's a blue card, you know. I mean, it's nothing too. It's not game breaking. It's probably okay. I mean, we're kind of trashing. We're trying to do things. Trashing the top is a little bit different than trashing the bottom, so.
Could be more impactful too.
Because and I think this is the only rookie that does that. So I mean, I'm into it, but it's not. I'm more excited about the fact that we have a Snow Agumon.
As another name. It's another name.
Submarimon. Okay. Samarimon. Ooh, that's easier to say. Okay. So we got Digivolve from Armadillomon for 2 cost. So we're going from the desert to underwater. We got Armor Release, so can trash the top to not be deleted once again. And then when Digivolving, trash the bottom Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards gets minus 3k DP for the turn. Meh. It's meh for me. It's meh for me for a couple reasons. Armadillomon isn't the craziest card. It's not as big of a name in the game as maybe something like Vmon is, you know. And just you get to trash the bottom card when your opponent's Digimon. All right, so that's pretty good. And then you give one of your opponents minus 3k DP for the turn. But like when I see this, it's pretty much saying when Digivolving, just like delete a rookie. That's pretty much borderline what it's telling me, unless the minus 3k DP that you're giving with this effect is then putting you in range to then delete it with the previously mentioned delete something with 5k or less. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I don't think this is... I think it's just okay. It's okay. It just gets like... It's middle of the road for me.
Yeah. The only thing that's saving it is that it has armor release. That's the only thing that's saving it.
Which is a really good keyword.
Yes.
And that's why it kind of gets the meh for me, right? It's like...
yeah.
It's a 4k DP, but it does get saved itself once, and it has like an okay when digivolving effect. It's nothing
It's a free
crazy,
Digimon.
but it's one of those things where it's like you can digivolve into this, pop a rookie, and then maybe get 1 or 2 checks in because of the armor release. That's
Yeah, and it's a free Digimon. That's interesting to me.
right. Yeah. Which I didn't notice that either. And I did mention that with the Vmon. Having free is nice in things like the Imperial, which mentioned those type of typings, so that's really interesting, but yeah, it gets a meh for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a man.
And then we got blue, yellow, Angemon with another fire art. 3 to Digivolve on top of blue and yellow. Your turn. When this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, recover +1. So it's just... What does that say when this Digimon would... Is this when you would Digivolving into an Ultimate? Is that what it means? If you're when you go to Digivolve into an Ultimate, if you have 3 or 4 security cards, recover 1? Or what does this mean? Because it's not a when Digivolving effect, it's a your turn effect.
Right. What I'm thinking of is when you Digivolve on top of this card, or if you Jorgens with this card.
Right.
When this Digimon would Digivolve, so it's taking any kind of Digivolution.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You go into, if you're DNA, if you are going into an Ultimate, then you recover 1, because it's inheritable when attacking. If you have 3 or more security cards, return 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. So, I think this card is alright. Being able to recover at the champion stage is pretty good. It is a 3 to Digivolve champion, which is pretty hefty, but you do have a pretty decent effect, and then you have 1 attacking. It's a pretty generic effect of if you have 3 or more security cards, bounce a level 3 Digimon. So it's basically a Kendo Garurumon inheritable. So it's got a pretty generic, decently okay inheritable, and the effects okay. It's alright. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see, it going Padamon and then Angemon in the turn going into Scorpiomon.
Right. Yeah, you could do something like that, yeah.
And then you can recover and then get Scorpiomon delete. If I'm not mistaken, if that's how that goes. So,
yeah, I think this is one of those cards where it doesn't really scream like this card is amazing or this card is bad to me. It just seems like it's definitely it's got 2 kind of generic but strong effects with its recover and bouncing a level 3, so it's just kind of like, I mean, if you get it off, it's going to be good, and sometimes 3 to Digivolve champion might be bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I call a combo card. Like, it needs other cards to make it good.
Then we got Hookmon. Blue-black, so this is a cool color combination for me because I've already played, like, blue cards in, like, D-Brigade before, so I've already kind of dabbled in the blue-black before we even get into this, so I'm okay with this color combination. We don't have an effect, we just have an inheritable. When attacking, trash the bottom Digivolution card of 1 of your opponent's Digimon. So, I don't see this being helpful in almost any way in a black deck, and it's probably just worse than a lot of other blue cards when it comes to trashing sources. So I feel like this is just kind of like your glue if you're playing a deck that's blue and black. It's just kind of like that. You probably just play this for consistency sakes, but I don't think it's really anything. I don't think this card's like amazing outside of that.
Nah, for blue to have all these cards that trash multiple Digivolution sources on 1 Digimon, or 1 across the entire board, or multiple. Like, this card is a draft card at best. That's what that is. Like, at best, it's a draft card.
Got Housemon. Digivolve from Hawkmon, so you can go ahead and use that Hawkmon. Search this out. Digivolve into it. Got armor release, and then when attacking, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon at 5k. Interestingly, unless I've missed it, haven't the other... Oh, no, okay, I just missed it. So, the dual colors only have one color that they can digivolve on top of with the armor release. So you can digivolve on top of a blue, or you can digivolve on top of the Hawkmon.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This is kind of like I was saying. This like when attacking type delete or bounce one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon is just fairly generic. I think this is fine. You can play Hawkmon to search it out, digivolve on top of it, swing, pop a level 3. You have armor release. It's nothing. I think it's like all right. I think it's potentially a little bit worse than Flamedramon, just because like you're popping a level 3 as where Flamedramon could potentially swing over a level 5 type of thing. But I think they're generally the same. It's a pretty decent card. I think the only thing that's really making it a lot potentially worse than the Flamedramon is the fact that you don't go on top of a Vmon, as to where Vmons are a little bit better than Hawkmons are.
Yeah, Vmon pull is way vastly better. But if I'm not mistaken, this card can be searched out with Hawkmon and Vmon. So this card's versatility is actually through the roof.
Well, it's going to be able to, that is something good to mention. All these dual color cards are going to be very searchable.
Oh yeah, extremely searchable. Like, I mean, this is good. Being able to delete a rookie while you're attacking with armor release, guaranteeing that you're going to survive that battle is like it is good. It really is good.
Yeah, armor release is just good. Then we got Scorpiomon, which is just our generic level 5 2 to Digivolve. Captain Hookmon. All turns, when your opponent plays level 5 or higher Digimon, gain 1 memory and draw 1. So, with the keyword of play, that means hard play, right?
Yeah.
So, this is pretty not great.
This is literally anti-Waymon. Literally.
This is your you just built the Waymon deck and it's gonna get countered soon.
Right.
Side deck in the Captain Hookmon.
Jeez Louise. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this card is
it's not good at all.
Yeah. Cool. Frozomon. Level 5, 3 to Digivolve, 7k blocker. Your turn, while your opponent has a Digimon with Digivolution cards, this Digimon cannot attack. Okay, so we'll get to that. Inheritable all turns, once per turn. When you trash a Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. Meh?
It's meh. Like, I mean, yes, it's... No. Because I was about to say, it's a blocker that can attack, but Argomon can attack and block, so... Yeah, there's no excuse with this card.
It's they had to, because they gave it an inheritable, you know. They gave it like, because it's all turns. It's an all turns inheritable. So if you can trash stuff on your opponent's turn, then you can bounce a level 3. But I don't know. I don't think it's anything too crazy.
Look, they hit a Tommy out of security. It can do that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Then we got Surfymon, which is just another 13k vanilla level 6. Just when you're playing pre-release, put a couple of these in your deck and you'll be good. But when you're playing the actual game, you're probably never going to use this.
So much wasted artwork. That artwork's so nice.
Pretty fire. And this is a card that I would almost prefer to be rare, just because a holo of this would be nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Got Frost Velgermon. 4 to Digivolve. When Digivolving, trash 1 Digivolution card from the top of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon, no Digivolution cards to the owner's hand. So that's pretty decent because it's not a level, it's just any opponent's Digimon. And then opponent's turn, all of your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking. If this Digimon has a Digivolution card, trash the bottom Digivolution card of this Digimon. So, like, this is like, what's the 6 cost option that trash the bottom deck? It's a blue card. Absolute Blast.
Yes.
This is like Absolute Blast as a Digimon, as like a level 6 Digimon that also has, like, when your opponents attack, they have to trash the bottom source, which is definitely annoying, but, yeah, this is just like Absolute Blast as a Mega.
I'm not feeling it. Like, I
don't even know how I feel about this one. This one's really interesting because it's like it kind of gives off where it's just like this is bad, but it's one of those things where it's like with the introduction this is one of those things where the introduction of side decks, this thing could maybe be decent just because of the fact where it's like if people are having like if somebody's deck revolves around their eggs or something, you can trash that, or just inheritables in general. But for the most part, I don't know. This is probably like at best like a 4.5, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of doubt, say it has a chance.
I'll give it a 5 because now that I'm thinking about it, it could honestly discard in a vacuum could honestly hard counter armor release.
That's fair, but it is a Mega.
It is a Mega. That's why I'm like, ugh.
It's a Mega to beat a level 4 mechanic.
Right. It's not Daipinmon. It's not that good.
I'm just gonna. What I have to say about this is it's probably bad, but I think it has a chance to potentially prove me wrong with that. It has some
potential.
Yeah, it has potential, but it's just I don't know how you capitalize on that.
It's great looking bird though.
Oh, amazing looking card. Speaking of amazing looking cards, Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, baby. Hey. Straight up, blue-green, finally here. Alright, we can Digivolve from Dragon Mode for 2 cost. And then, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon with 10k DP or less to their owner's hand. So that's already looking pretty good. When attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon has a blue Digivolution card, unsuspend one of your Digimon. If this Digimon has a green Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So, you're going to have both.
Okay.
The when attacking effect, you're going to have both. So, I mean, you're swing, unsuspend, suspend that, swing over it.
Right. I was like, oh, okay, so you're telling me that you can attack, suspend a blocker, unsuspend, attack again? Like, okay, I take it. Like, and I can bounce another card. Oh,
we can HPD into this too.
Oh my goodness, you're right. It's a blue-green card. No. No.
You don't even need to go into Dragon Mode.
Wow, you're absolutely correct.
I'm excited for this card. I love Imperial Dramon. Any Imperial Dramon sport is cool with me, especially when we get into the new like Davis Ken card later. I mean, when you're attacking, you're gonna activate this effect both like every single time because of dual color cards and just generally the cards you're gonna play in this type of deck. And I mean, it's just pretty decent. The when Digivolving, you get to delete a 10k DP or less, so that's going to be able to delete pretty much every single level 5 or lower. Some conditions you may be able to delete a level 6 depending on what it is, but it's pretty much like you can delete something 10k or less, so that's a good when Digivolving. And then when attacking, you just suspend your opponent's Mega and then swing over it.
I'm sorry, I looked at the chat and somebody said Fighter Mode is here to throw hands. That's absolutely correct. He's here to throw these hands. Like 60% win rate can be in any deck now. So being able to just pay a 2 cost from an ultimate, go right into this bad boy.
I mean, that's what I was saying. We can HPD it.
At 2,
you can run 60%. You can HPD. I mean, there's already a couple of cards in here that we've talked about where I'm like, oh my god, I'm kind of glad MDF is gone.
Oh my goodness! If MDF was still around,
there's too much combo potential going on if that card was gonna be still around. But yeah, we get HPD into this.
This card's amazing, by far amazing.
So blue, I mean blue gets my seal of approval.
Yes, it does. It gets a stamp from the Digimon Laboratory. Like
I'm
it
down.
is
There's just like
amazing.
Red. There's a couple duds,
Right,
but
like Captain Football.
there's some pretty big hits. I think the Padamon is definitely decent. The Vmon's just really good. The Snow Agumon's going to be good. I think the Angemon has potential. And then so is the Halcymon and the Submarimon. But I think it's just like the fact that Imperial Dramon fighter mode's in this tier, it really carries it for me.
Yeah, I mean, like it was already good with fighter mode in there. Like it was an instant 8. Like, but that's the potential. Like in my head, 'cause, I'm a deck builder. I'm a theory crafter.
Mm-hmm.
And Frost Valgrimmon, like that that right there, I'm like, there's so much potential with that card. Just gotta find it. I give this like a solid stamp of approval. Like blue is very good in this set.
I I think we're gonna say that for every set forever.
Man, I agree. I agree.
All right, getting into yellow. Let's go ahead and start with Armadillomon. We got our on play reveal, the top 4, added 2 colored, with yellow from among them to your hand, bottom deck the rest. And I mean, this art is hilarious. That Padamon in the background is just like, it looks like kind of like how like a dog perks its ears up.
I got a doll looking for a cat.
And it can digivolve on top of yellow and blue. Although with these cards, you're
Oh,
usually gonna on play them. But I mean, it's just, we already went over this. It's good.
I love these Darpy artworks. Who's
Yeah.
that? Kenji? Like I love his artworks. Oh
Yep.
my god.
The artwork in this game is just, that's the underrated part. We haven't talked about how good the art is enough on this podcast, but the art in this
Art's
card game is just like, in my opinion, like a lot of the time leagues ahead of most other card games. Pokemon's
I
got some pretty good arts, but this
boy.
this this game has good arts on like their commons. Like like fire arts
Yeah.
on their commons like consistently, as to where like Pokemon has some good arts are kind of generic, but Pokemon has like really good alternate art, super rare, expensive cards. That's where it's just like, this is an Armadillomon. It's a uncommon. It's got a pretty good art, you know.
I mean, look at Surfymon, for example. It's a comment. Look at the art on that bad boy.
Yeah,
It's just amazing.
amazing art, amazing. Then we got an Elecmon, a yellow Elecmon, another vanilla Elecmon. So there we go. Candlemon can digivolve on both of yellow and purple eggs. Inheritable, your turn. Once per turn, when you play another purple Digimon, gain 1 memory. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't see anything like, if you're playing, if you got something on top of this as the inheritable and you're playing other purple Digimon, you're gaining a memory. You're essentially reducing the cost of one of your purple Digimon by 1. It's pretty good. It's pretty just generally not a bad effect.
So great. So great. Yellow, purple, it's just such a great combination. You got so much support coming out too.
Yeah, with the Mastamon.
Yeah. That card is actually better than people would even think about.
Nah, I think this card's good. I think it's just like it's just a good effect. You're probably gonna play purple cards when you're playing this deck, and when you play it, it costs 1 less. And if you have 2 of these Candlemon inheritables out, it costs 2 less. You know, I mean,
Right.
it's good.
It is good. It is.
And Kylomon, well, you have a blue Digimon in play.
Kylomon.
When playing this card from your hand, reduce its cost by 1. So we had this effect earlier, so it's going to be 2 to Digivolve on both yellow and blue level 3s, but it also can be an on play for 3 if you have a blue Digimon in play. With the inheritable of when attacking, while you have a blue Digimon in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. So, I mean, we pretty much looked at the exact same card, different color. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I said, you don't really get 3 to play that have decent effects. This one's got a pretty generic effect of giving minus 3k DP, which can either delete a rookie or set something up in range to be deleted by something else or to be swung over. I mean, this is one of those inheritables where when you get up into a mega, it's pretty good because you swing. I don't know. Make up a mega Lord Nightmon. You swing a Lord Nightmon. You swing over your opponent's dude, gets minus 3k DP, and so you're good. You know, or like whatever.
Yeah, this Aquilomon is actually not bad at all. It's actually pretty good.
I think it's good.
It's not Halsimon because Halsimon does have armor going for it, but this is actually very good, especially if you're trying to build tall.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's fine. Because what was the other one that was three to play? The Aquilomon. Yeah, and the Aquilomon has, if you have a yellow, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k or less. So, I mean, they're both, like, really... They're just good. They're good cards.
They're the same card.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Because here's the thing. The Aquilomon, in theory, feels like it should be better because it deletes a 5k or less. That's where this gives minus 3k DP or less. But they're two completely different dynamics that have completely different ways of working. So, like, in a lot of scenarios, giving minus 3k DP to something could be better. As where, in other scenarios, deleting a 5k is better. So, I think these are both just... They're good. I think the fact that they're a level 4 that you can play for 3 for very little cost, very easy, and then have a pretty impactful inheritable makes cards like this just strong. And it can digivolve on top of 2 different colors. There's a lot going for it.
Yeah, I mean, I see why they had to nerf it from 5 to 3 because it is in yellow, and yellow like to reduce DP already.
Oh yeah, no. If you could reduce 5k DP over deleting something for that 5k or less, that'd be way better. Because you can stack DP reduction. You can't stack 5k or less. When you delete a 5k or less, you delete a 5k or less. When you give minus 5k to a 6k, you can use a completely different card with a completely different effect to get rid of that other 1k and delete that Digimon. You know, so it's like, it's good. Yep. Dino-Humon. 2 to digivolve on top of yellow and red. Yellow-red card. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1k DP for the turn. So it's got like Pikmon's effect and Koromon's effect without the condition. But man, I don't know. This doesn't really scream crazy to me. It kind of screams a little meh.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
See, it feels mid of the road to me. If you're doing yellow red and you just need that extra filler, it's not a terrible inheritable because, you know, you're getting minus 1k DP, which is a lot of times all you really need. If you have we were talking about this yesterday with the red tie starter deck. If you have a Digimon that's 13k DP and your opponent's Digimon is 13k DP, if you can make your dude 1k higher or there's 1k lower, you win that. That's all you need. So it's not a bad inheritable. It's just, it's not that crazy. Yellow red isn't the color combination that I'm the most I think is the most crazy. It's not bad, but this just kind of seems like one of those cards where when you're playing yellow red, you play this at X amount for kind of be like a little type of glue, a little filler. It's got an okay inheritable, but I don't think this is like your staple champion.
Yeah, no. I'm honestly not. You're right. It's like if you need a filler for your champions and red yellow hybrid, this is the card to throw in for a filler. But it wouldn't be my number 1 or number 2 go-to option. They're like, oh no, I got to roll for the obligatory 2 more champions in this dual color. Let me throw this bad boy in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's one of those cards where it's like if you're playing it, you need to throw it in there. You can throw it in there. It's gonna be fit for both colors. You got a semi like it's a respectable inheritable. It can do something. It's nothing crazy. It's just yeah, I don't know. It's just that guy. But now we're about to get into 2 juicy cards and then my least favorite card of the set.
What?
We'll get to that. So we're gonna be having Magnamon, level 4 with armor release and blocker. Can digivolve from Vmon for 3. So another Vmon. His name's good name. When digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. For each card with armor in its stage. Oh, sorry. I think that's worded differently than how it's gonna be when we get it. So it's kind of confusing me. Unsuspend this Digimon. For each card with armor in its stage in your trash, this Digimon gains 2,000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically, you're gonna digivolve up into Vmon for 3. You're gonna gain like 8k DP. You're gonna have blocker, and you're gonna have armor release.
Yeah, like
so. This gets 6 fire emojis out of 5 fire emojis.
Yeah, like this is instant meta. Like instant. For
This is
you
the card that
to
when I saw, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I'm playing this. Like, you can just play, like, Armor Rush. You swing in.
yeah.
If it dies, it still lives there. You swing in again. You get a bunch of stuff in the trash. You play this big dude. And then it's just like, it's just there, you know? It's like, it has that extra life to it, you know? Unless you are, like, getting rid of sources and whatnot. So it's like, it's play, like, the armor release stuff you can play around, but it's very powerful. Having the armor release is just a good keyword. Having blockers, insane keyword, especially when it doesn't have any negatives next to the blocker, like pay 2 to attack or can't attack, or like it's just a blocker. And then when digivolving, you gain 2k until your opponent's next turn. So it's like, if you can either attack in with it for like a giant level 4 that's probably not going to die in security, or you can set it up as this big blocker that can literally probably block a mega.
Oh yeah, that, like it's just insane. Like you can be my jamming, live, and then just pay 3, drop into
Unsuspend it.
and then unsuspend it, and now you have a blocker for free that doesn't die.
Oh,
that
man,
once,
dude.
like just pops itself off into trash, and then there's your V-Mon.
And it's a cost for 3, so it's like so easy. You're just like, oh, I have a memory tamer out. Okay, cool.
It's like, okay, there you go. Like it's just,
I love it. I love this card.
so good.
That's all I gotta say about it. I love this card. I love the Digimon. I love everything about this card. I love that I have to play Vmon to play this card. This card's sick.
All I'm saying is, it is a Royal Knight, ladies and gentlemen. So you can play the Systemons, and then they will become blockers, and you start getting all kinds of stuff with them.
Oh my god, Dante, I didn't even think about that. That is gnarly. Wow. Alright, then we got Rapidmon. So this is a card that is probably a little bit of a fan favorite. A lot of people will be liking that Terriermon line. So we got Digivolve from Terriermon for 3. This is going to be a yellow-green Digimon. Armor release, of course. And then when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Tamers in play. Then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5k DP for the turn. So this is like essentially a level 4 Nidhogg.
This card is good.
Because, oh my gosh, because we already talked about how having minus 5k DP for the turn. Because here's the thing. Even if you don't delete them with the 5k, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each Tamer in play. So, it doesn't have to be a level 3, it doesn't have to be a level 4, this could be a Mega, okay? And then, up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5k. So, you could turn your opponent's 13k Mega into an 8k. And then the ways you can get over that are ridiculous. You could put your opponent's ultimate from 7k to 2k, and then your rookie gets to swing over it.
Yes. This card is
Not to mention that red and or yellow and green are like pretty decent to play together. Like green might have been getting a little not as much love these past couple sets, but for the most part, green has a very high like there's a lot of lows in green, but the highs are very high. So it's like, and the same with yellow. Yellow's got insane cards. So it's like the fact that you can just play this in those type of decks is insane. Terriermon, the memory blocker Terriermon, pretty good. You know, like Terriermon's already a very good card that's probably not going anywhere, especially when we're getting stuff like this. So, yeah, this card I think is really good.
Oh yeah, when I saw this card is actually what drove me to look into the armor release.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, that's actually good. Like you said, I was thinking about the memory blocker Terriermon. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then you just slide over to the Magnamon. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, do we have a tier 1 deck here? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, they both have this little crazy thing in common where they both have yellow.
Oh my goodness, great! This is going to be insane.
Because here's the thing. You play the Magnamon and the Rapidmon, right? Okay, so you can play the V-Mons, you can play the blue base, and then you can play green Terriermons. Guess what color combinations two colors have been kind of working with each other in tandem for almost the entirety of this card game. Oh, blue and green. So it's not going to be too hard for you to fit in these Terriermons into your deck because you can use it as a memory blocker. Plus, we're going to get into the Terriermon once we get up into green, which is going to be our generic searcher. And then we have our Vmon searcher.
Tricolor.
I mean, in this, you probably... Armadillomon's probably the better searcher. If you wanted to hit both. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like... You can very easily play a deck that's playing Flamedramon, Magnamon, and very easily fit Rapidmon in there because you're going to naturally be able to just play Terriermons because it's like, oh, darn, I guess I'll just hit 2 cards off my Davis every time I play it. Oh, I guess I'll just have Ken and Davis Tamer activate every time. Darn.
Man, quad Amaryllis, quad color Amaryllis is a thing. That's
Armor
insane.
beatdown, bro.
And you get 4 different searchers that we get every.
It's gonna just be like
Amaryllis.
rookie. It's gonna be rookie champion rush. You're gonna play a bunch of rookies to search out your broken cards. And you're just gonna swing into them.
Yes, this is insane.
Oh, I'm gonna clear your board. No, you're not. Armor release.
And then pop everything back. Okay, and then.
Oh, you want to try to develop on board? Oh, I guess I'll just suspend it with Rapidmon, and then no matter what you have, it gets swung over by Magnamon. Sorry.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna reduce that, and then Magmon swing. Okay, cool. Oh no, I got a blocker. Oh, okay, cool.
So we just had a couple fire hits. Magnamon, Rapidmon, they go hard. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk about this next one. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet my least favorite Digimon of all time, Betsumon. Okay, this thing is in my nightmares. I want it to go away. When they announced that it was a card, I was really sad. My buddy Dustin doesn't even play the card game, and he saw it and sent it to me and asked me how I felt about it. If you don't know who Betsumon is in the anime, go ahead and just Google Betsumon and see some of the most awful screenshots from the anime you're going to ever see because of this thing. Now, getting on into it in the card game. The art is actually pretty cool because it's playing Digimon, the card game, on the art, and all the cards that do that I think are pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and take away that it's Betsumon doing it. When digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, this Digimon is also treated as the color of the trash card for the turn. Then, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, trigger, draw 2 cards. So, let me say this. I hate this card. Betsumon, I don't want to have to look at this card from my opponent or me playing it. Unfortunately, it's really good.
Right.
So unfortunately for me, this card goes really hard. It's really good value. Being able to add colors really changes how you can play your level 6s. What options you can play. All these different things. And that means that we all have to suffer looking at Betsumon. So I'm sorry, everybody.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I okay, like, I personally don't like the Digimon. Like, I'm a huge anime fan. I'm a huge Digimon lover. I don't like this Digimon. Like,
wait. In the chat, you know Betsumon is a freak because they stack the sources over the top card instead of under. Look at the stacks on the art.
True.
Oh, man. And unfortunately, this card is going to be pretty good value.
It's so good being able to turn this into any dual color that you want and then draw to. This is what we call.
Imagine if this is like one of those things where I see it and it's just like, I'm gonna digivolve. I'm gonna go ahead and trash me an Eismon, play that out, and then I'm gonna have I'm gonna draw 2. Seems pretty good, and I'm gonna go up into a mega. I don't know if this is so I might be underestimating it when I say this. I don't think this is like a 4 of, but I think this is one of those cards where it's just like, it can, like, if you can digivolve on top of a yellow, if that's what you're doing, and you want to go different colors, it's just good value because you're trashing a card. So this would pair really good with like purple is what I think about, because purple likes to trash cards from their hand, and then you get to draw 2. So it's like the yellow-purple decks are gonna be just nuts when Mastimon comes out.
I think this is the best generic bridge that we're gonna see in Digimon. by far.
Yeah. Probably.
Like
Yeah.
being able to go from yellow.
I just wish it was
Green
any
to-
other Digimon.
I agree.
We should have gave Surfymon.
Oh, that'd been fine. Give this ability to Surfymon. Oh man,
Then Surfymon could do something.
this. I just can't. I can't. This could have been an angel woman for all we knew.
I'm moving on. I'm done with Betsumon. We got Kayukimon, which has no effects, no inheritables, but it is a yellow-purple 9K 3 to Digivolve Ultimate, so I think that's just worth noting. Nothing to really say about it, but 9K is pretty big. Yellow-purple is going to be notable. Just having that color combination in the future is going to be notable. Yellow-purple and blue-green, I think, are going to be the two most notable color combinations, just because of the starter decks that will be coming with the Imperial Dramon and the Mastamon, of course. So just worth noting. Then we're gonna have another yellow-blue. We got Shikaomon, Teapot, DNA Digivolve, yellow level 4 plus blue level 4 for 0. And then they unsuspend, of course, right? Because Digivolve unsuspended. When Digivolving, if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover 1. Then, when DNA Digivolving, return 1 of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the number of cards in your security stack to the owner's hand. Inheritable, when attacking, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3 KD for the turn. This card's nuts. This card's just nuts. This card is nuts. Okay, so this is saying if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover 1, okay? This is like the only thing that has less restriction than this is like that is like a digivolving effect is like Jet Sylphie. Like everything else is like, oh, if you have 3 or less security, recover 1. If you have 1 or less with like Padamon, like recover 1. This one's just like, yeah, if you have 5 or less, go ahead and recover 1. And then if you're DNA digivolving, go ahead and pop a level 6 if you have 6. Why not? Or return it to your hand.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah. No,
if it was play cost, sure. Level? Oh my goodness. In a yellow deck where you're going to be recovering a bunch?
Oh yeah. If this was play cost, it'd be a worse Magna. Like, this card even beats Magna. Like, this is insane. Like, if you took any damage whatsoever, okay, I'm just recovering right back. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then being able to bounce one back is oh, come on, man. This is insane.
And yeah, and then it's a DNA digivolve. So it's like oh my goodness, dude, the things you can do with this are so crazy. I'm telling you, dude, when BT8 comes out and we actually start having like locals and tournaments, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. There's so many crazy things that are gonna happen. I love it. And it's like we have the ban list, which Japan didn't have, so we're gonna have like all these crazy cards with a basically completely different meta, and it's gonna be like Wild West for a little bit. There'll be like general ideas that people are gonna have, but like, man, the first couple weeks of this set are gonna be so much fun. These cards get me riled. And Shikaumon's my 2 favorite colors, so there we go.
I have so many ideas for these cards.
Oh, crazy. Cherubimon, we got another Cherubimon coming in. Can digivolve on both yellow and purple level 5s for 4. When you would play this card from your hand, you may delete 1 of your purple Cherubimon to reduce this card's play cost by 8. So we already got a lot to talk about right there. On play or when digivolving, activate the following effects for each of your tamers in play. 1 of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2 till the end of your opponent's next turn. So since we're all in the BT7 meta now, I'm sure we are all firmly aware of the Cherubimon that we got right now, where it says on deletion, you get to go ahead and play a rookie for each of your tamers. So we're going to get to do this really cool thing, where if you have that Cherubimon on the board, you can go ahead and play this card from your hand for 3. Pop your Cherubimon. Summon a bunch of rookies because of the Cherubimon on deletion effect, and then all of your opponent's Digimon are pretty much going to get security attack -2, and if you want to get crazy, you can just give something like security attack -8. Why not?
Right. Doesn't even matter. It's like, yeah, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, and so this is a card where it's like, if you have the purple Trubimon on the field, this is just nuts. The fact that you can Digivolve off of yellow and purple makes it a card where you can just play it as a 1 or 2 of, even if you aren't doing that, because you can just Digivolve it up, and it's just a defense card. It's just like, oh, well, you're going wide? Okay, well, I'm just going to give all 3 of your Digimon security attack -2, and then we're going to go ahead and just, like, reset, and then next turn I'm going to try to clear your board. But if you do have the Trubimon on the board, what this is saying is, you play this for 3, all of your opponent's Digimon get security attack -2, and you swing face with like 3 Bushi Agumon.
Oh, I forgot about that card. But, yeah, I forgot about that card. But oh yeah, like it's funny. I was even theory crafting this with Cherubimon and Devilmon, the Demon Devilmon promos, and then you just pop the Cherubimon, bring this out, bring out a bunch of rookies. Or trigger Demi Devilmon, bring out Dan Devilmon, and then bring out all these rookies. Man. And now you have, like, from 1 Digimon to, like, 5 or 6.
Yeah. This card's cool.
Jeez. Possibilities are endless.
I don't know, like, where I rate it at the power level, because it's very dependent on you having other cards. But it's just one of those cards where, like, in the perfect scenario, this card is so ridiculously powerful.
It's a combo piece, but it's a great combo piece.
It's a great combo piece, for sure. And then, last of the yellow portion, we're going to have a Zulongmon, a yellow-blue, amazing art. Like, we're going to talk about art. This art goes hard. This is a rare, right? Yeah, so this is going to be shiny. So this can be a cool-looking card. So 3 to Digivolve on top of yellow and blue ultimates. When attacking, you may trash the top card of your security stack to gain 2 memory. And your turn, once per turn, when Digivolving one of your other Digimon, you may unsuspend that Digimon. So the card's art looks really good, but I think that's its biggest high point. I think the effect, you can trash the top security to gain 2 memory. There's a lot of things you can do with that. That's one of those effects where, in a vacuum, I don't think it's the most crazy card, because you can just Blinding Ray to do that, and you don't have to go all the way up to a Mega. So I don't think that effect is too crazy. You can pair it along with things like Dynasmon, but the when attacking effect, it doesn't really do too much for me. But then you have the when Digivolving one of your other Digimon, you may unsuspend that Digimon. That is a pretty decent effect, because then you can swing in with jamming Vmon, you can Digivolve into something else and unsuspend it, so that way it doesn't go ahead and get swung over next turn. That's pretty cool, but I don't really see this being a card that is, like, used a lot. I think it's neat. It's got a really cool art, but I don't think its effects are impactful enough to want to run it in the Mega slot. The one thing that I want to point out is that its types, look how long the types are. Holy Dragon, 4 Great Dragons, 4 Sovereigns.
That's the most types, isn't it? I'm pretty
that's
sure.
I think that's not only the most types, as far as, I mean, unless we miss something, but that's got to be the longest, like, most characters for a type. That is,
Jeez.
that like where the Holy Dragon starts and the 4 Sovereigns ends is like how much text most cards use as far as space.
Right. Man, they used the entire bar for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say this. This is not a main Digimon that you build your deck around. This is more of a support Digimon. This is like a hyper-aggressive yellow-blue type of deck Digimon. Like, it's, in my opinion, like, the original Zulongmon is for more of a controlling style, but this is more for of an aggressive style.
Right.
That's why they need to be a 3-cost Digivolve instead of a 5 like the original Zulongmon.
Right.
So, like, it's not the best.
It's the fact that it's a level 6 that's kind of the worst part for me, because these type of effects, if it was like a level 5, it'd be kind of a little bit better, because one of the other things that which we've talked about before is it is 11k DP, which when you don't have the most impactful effects is a negative for me.
Correct.
So I just had to look it up really quick. The Azulong that we have now does have all of that text. I've just somehow never noticed it.
Does it?
Yeah, it has all those typings, and I just somehow missed it.
Hey, if there ever is a searcher for any of these Digimon stoppers.
Zulong's
This
you're hitting a Zulong.
Yeah, no matter what.
So that's the end for yellow. I mean, this is the best one so far. I mean, Armadillomon's a good card, Candlemon's a good card, and Kylomon's a good card. We got Magnamon, we got Rapidmon, Betsumon, Shikaomon. Just basically like everything besides the Elecmon and the Dino-Humon, and I guess the Azulong. Those are like the three that don't really do it for me, as to where everything else is like kind of a hit. Like even the Kyakumon, which we didn't talk about, it's yellow-purple. It's got to be usable to a degree. It's a 9K. It's beefy. Like, it's there. But everything else is just so good. The Magnamon, the Rapidmon are insane. The Betsumon is, like, as much as I hate it, it's insane.
Like just the Dino-Humon. Like, that's probably the lowest end of the yellows. And even that is decent.
It's decent. I mean, the lowest end of the yellow is probably the Elecmon, just because it's... I mean, it's not really adding anything, but yeah. It's 4K. Yeah.
Like, it's a 4K for a rookie. Like, yeah, yellow, geez, I had to say it, but yellow outbeat blue, like, overall.
Oh, I have to agree. I think this was the best one so far that we've gone through. These cards are, like, every single one, I feel like me and you were just like, wow, this is, like, pretty good. Like, this is really good. This card's pretty sick. And there's a couple where it's like, yeah, this is, like, mid. But there's some other ones, like, we go back and we're just like, yeah, this card's bad. Like,
yeah,
I didn't say that about any of these cards. It's just like, yeah, it's like you could play it in those type of decks, and it's just like, yeah.
When you said vanilla for 9K, level 5, I was like, wait, 9K, wow.
Yeah, 9K, that's pretty big. So, getting on into green, we do have the Ikakimon here, which is just a 2-drop 3K vanilla. Nothing too crazy about the card. However, if you know, you know. The Ikakimon is a fan-made Digimon from a long time ago, turned into a card, and there are a couple Digimon in this set that I believe are also fan art Digimon, and so I think that's just worth noting. Nothing crazy about Ikakimon. He's a 2-drop rookie. It's pretty cool. He's got a little Tanamon hanging out with him and a Togemon poster in the background that he painted probably with his fingers. But the main thing here is that some kid drew this Digimon, and now it is an official card art, and that's pretty cool. I like that. Terriermon. Oh, wait, this is a different Terriermon. I thought it was a generic like the other ones. Okay. My bad. On play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Gargomon or Rapidmon its name among them to your hand. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck. Hey, didn't we just talk about a really broken card called Rapidmon?
Yes.
Whoa! This card is probably pretty good. The Gargomon cards are I don't like. Is there a new Gargomon that we're going over? No. So the Gargomon cards I don't think are like they're okay. The Gargomon cards are okay. The Rapidmon is much more powerful.
Yeah. Net set, this card gets way more powerful.
Right. I'm just talking about the current Gargomons and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the current one, no.
Yeah, because they're like you go up there, the Gargomon, the Mega Gargomon or whatever. They're okay. They're not anything out here. But Rapidmon, that's a card I'm trying to search out for sure.
Yes,
that's a card I'm trying to find. Now we got a green Pulsemon with a really cool art. Looks like he's just thinking about his little watch game. You know, what are those called? The VPET watches that he comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know. You all know what we're talking. It's like a Digimon Fitbit. Yeah. And so he's thinking about getting fit. He's stretching. He's running. He's doing clean and jerks over here. But we got no effect. But we do got an inheritable. All turns, this Digimon gains 1,000 DP for each of your other suspended Digimon. So this is a card that is actually probably pretty decent if you are having the card that this is under is a blocker and you're attacking in. You can get a lot of value out of that. You can also just go ahead and make it so if you have if you have this as like any ultimate or mega, you know, you could tack in with 2 Digimon. If they survive, you just get to go ahead and give that buff on top of the Digimon this is on. Like we talked about earlier, sometimes 1K is all you need to be able to clean up something big. So this Pulsemon gets like this is pretty all right. This is okay. It's got the inheritable being all turns and being a 4 each effect, not just being 1K Digimon if you have like a suspended Digimon type thing. This is a pretty good effect.
I like how they're starting to make more defensive green cards than offensive green cards. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down.
This is a great card.
I'm down. Then we got Shurimon. So we're going to go ahead Digivolve from Hawkmon for 2, so another Hawkmon. This Digimon is dope because he's like a ninja from Naruto, so that's pretty sick. We've got Armor Release, and then when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker cannot, or one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So already, I just gotta say, this is the weakest Armor Digimon that we've seen so far because having its effect targeting only specifically blockers is way too specific. This is like a really good side deck card and a really below average main deck card for me.
Yeah, this is the worst armor release card of the bunch.
It's just the other ones are way less specific with their effects, like give minus 3k, gain 3k, trash source, like this one's just like, oh, if you don't have a blocker, then it has armor release, which, to be fair, hey, armor release is pretty good. But all the other armor release cards do something else, so that's why I see this being as like a side deck card. You're playing against Machinedramon, like this is probably a card Ramiro probably not gonna like too much, but it's not anything too crazy.
Yeah, like if this said without blocker, it would make it so much more better.
If it just said one of your opponent's Digimon, yeah, without blocker, can't attack or block till the end of your next turn, it would be like doable, because it's like, okay, you're making something so it can't attack next turn, but you're not stopping it so they can't block. But I feel like that would also be like a very blue type of effect, and it wouldn't really make a lot of sense on a green or red card. But I don't think there's much else to say about this. I think it's fairly not amazing.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Not the biggest fan. We got Namakimon. Main, you may suspend this Digimon to reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 green Digimon card from among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. I mean, it's just like, it's like, I don't know. It's like, because you're gonna suspend this. It's at 3K. It's gonna die, right? Like almost all the time. So this is kind of like most of the time, probably like a one-time use, search the top 3, add any green Digimon. But I feel like when we have rookies that are pretty decent at searching cards, and just general search in general, I don't think this is doing it for me, since it's a level 4 with 3k. It's like, if this was like a 3-drop, I'm feeling it. If this was like a 3-drop 2k, with this effect, I'd be feeling a little bit more. But the fact that it's like a 4-drop and it's just going to die anyway, I don't know. The difference between the 3-drop and the 4-drop is just really big for me, just because it's like memory tamers are going to put you to 3. So you might have to... You're either going to have to Digivolve on top of this for a 3k, or you're going to hard play it and probably pass your turn. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this. Like, we got things like Terrymon Assistant. We got things like Izzy as a tamer. Like, we got all sorts of other cards that...
There's all kinds of cards. You just got too much. There's too much cards. You got all kinds of crazy green cards, to be able to search cards. Yeah. I don't really know if I want to play a level 4 that I gotta suspend and then just have it die, Right. It's exactly. It's like borderline an option card, because it's just not gonna be there after.
I don't like it. Not at all.
I don't like it. Then we got Exormon. When Digivolving, you may suspend one of your Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. And with the inheritable all turns, this Digimon gains 1000 DP for each of your other suspended Digimon. So this is where the egg that we talked about earlier comes into play, right? Mm-hmm. But... I mean, this card... So here's the thing. This card probably has to be good, for the sheer reason that you Digivolving this for 2 to get the same effect that you would get for Flower Cannon and Needle Spray for 2 when you're playing it. Essentially, you have to suspend one of your Digimon, which is not the best, but we've seen the Pulsemon, so it's gonna buff up your Pulsemon. That buffs up with the Exermon inheritable that we have right now, but also it's just generally it's just like I think if you have like I don't know. I mean, maybe this card isn't that great, but I feel like this card isn't that bad. I feel like 2 to Digivolve to suspend a Digimon isn't that bad. You do have the downside of suspending one of your Digimon, but we have the Pulsemon, which is a pretty decent card. The Exermon, also pretty like an inheritable that buffs up from this. So I'll give it a mid. I'll give it like a above mid.
Yeah, in a vacuum, yeah. Yeah, like at worst case scenario, you suspend it. You know, you suspend Exermon to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon.
Right.
But then they're just gonna unsuspend during their turn.
Well, I'm thinking this as like an effect where it's like you're digivolving this, you're gonna like suspend something as if it was like Digisorption, but then you suspend anything to like swing over it. So maybe Flower Can Needle Spray are actually probably just better. This does progress you up in levels and also give you an inheritable. But yeah, maybe it's just mid. I'm gonna give it mid. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's mid.
I agree.
It's mid.
I agree.
Then we got Digmon. I love Digmon. I'm just gonna say that. Digmon's cool. Digiball from Armadillomon for 2 cost. So you're gonna be able to search this out from the Armadillomon. Go ahead, Digivolve on top of it. Got Armor Release, of course. And then when attacking one of your opponent's suspended Digimon, gets minus 3k DP for the turn. So it's not as bad as the last one. But the effect isn't bad, right? Because if your opponent has a suspended Digimon, you give it minus 3k. You can go ahead and like if your opponent has a 7k on board, you can swing into it, make it a 4k, swing over with Digimon, right? And stuff like that. But if your opponent doesn't have a suspended Digimon, it's not doing anything for you. So it's one of those cards where it can if you fill the requirement, it's probably fairly good. It's just that you have to meet that requirement. You're gonna have to get it suspended first, or they're gonna have to attack in and be suspended. So this is a card I feel like definitely is good when it's good, but it's one of the ones that are going to be easier to play around.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like, okay, so I'm trying to find good for this card. If I guess what you can do is you can bait a blocker, where when you no, you can't even do that. See, because when attacking happens before
exactly.
the blocker phase.
Exactly.
So you can't even do that. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's mid. It's not. A lot of the other armor releases just kind of blow this out of the water.
I mean, he's better than Hiyarimon.
Oh, he's destroying Hiyarimon.
Yeah.
But he sure ain't some of these other ones we've seen. It's like.
Hiyarimon's a 3. He's definitely a 4, 4.5.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not good. I don't know.
Right,
Whoa.
right.
We got a new little 1 to Digivolve champion, so that's pretty cool. The fact that it's a champion and it's 1 to Digivolve is pretty good.
Green love that.
And he's just chilling. He's chilling. He's got a TV behind him, dug a hole. He's munching on some bones. Ragermon. We're going to go ahead and have another armor here. Digivolve from Vmon for play cost 2, so another Vmon. Armor release, and then when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. I'm with it. I don't think this is as good as some of the other Digivolve on top of Vmons, but it could be a decent one of. It's you're Digivolving for 2 to suspend a level 4 or lower, so that could be a blocker. That could be your opponent's Vmon. Go ahead and get that off the board before they can go up into it or whatever. I think this is definitely just a solid card. It's not amazing. It's just, it's good. It's just, it's good. I don't know.
It's one of them other options to where, bring up Vmon from raising, Digivolve into this for 2.
Yeah, this is like maybe a one-of type thing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like suspend the blocker, attack, die. Oh, wait, armor release. And then go into Magnamon. Magnamon then becomes 9k blocker. It's one of the things to fuel Magnumon. That's what
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah. Until we get future things where Ragermon name kind of matters a little bit more.
Is this the first Ragemon we had?
This is for sure the first Ragermon we have. Because I
And
love Ragermon.
It's searchable by the Slagermon line.
But yeah, I like I said, I think it's good. I don't think it's not nuts. It's not
No,
Magnamon or whatever, you know. It's not like
Rapidmon.
Rapidmon and Magnamon are like blowing me
Yeah.
out of the water. This is just like, yeah, like this card's good. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's just good. We got Pistomon, which I've never seen this Digimon in my life. It is terrifying, and it's just
Never.
Digisorption 2 with the inheritable. This Digimon gains 1 DP for each of your other spended Digimon. So Digisorption is a notable keyword to have. But I mean, we got other Digisorption champions or ultimates that are Digisorption 3. We got Argomon. Argomon might be a little bit better to put this in there for the inheritable, but I don't know. I don't think this card's bad because it's Digisorption with an inheritable. The same inheritable we've been seeing a little bit for plus 1k DP for each of the other suspended, but it's just in the middle of the road for me.
Yeah, he's a nerfed Argomon. That's what that is. It's
Yeah,
we know
this is like a
that-
card where they're like saying they're like, we want you, like, this is one of those things where it's just like we're gonna flirt with Sarismon being viable.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't give Sarismon a bone. We know we hit Argomon to 1. We know we hit Hidden Potential to 1. You know, here's a bone, but guess what? Yeah, pay 1. You can't just go, you know.
Yeah,
up
you
for
still got to
free.
pay one.
Yep. So that's all that
You're
is.
still probably playing Blossomon, you know, unless you really want
Oh, yeah.
that inheritable. But yeah, this card's just, I don't know. It's nothing crazy, but it's not bad. It's probably just like below average.
This gotta be a manga exclusive. I've never seen.
I've
this Digimon.
never seen this Digimon, and I could have lived without it, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Then we got Kymon, who is a super dope looking Digimon. Another Digimon that I've never seen, but pretty sick.
The round names.
Yep. When Digivolving, if this Digimon is suspended, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP to the owner's hand. So this works with all the inheritables we've gone through. We got gain 1k DP for each of your opponents, or each of your suspended Digimon. So you're going to go ahead and swing with something, and then you're going to Digivolve into this, and then you're going to bounce back something with like 10k DP.
Nice.
And then you got inheritable, your turn. When this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, that's kind of nuts.
That's good.
This is like you Digivolve into this, get its effect, Digivolve into a Mega.
So good.
I like this. I like this. I don't know what to say. This is pretty cool.
That's good.
It's cool
Especially-
Digimon. It's got a good effect. It's got the only downside of your Digimon has to be suspended when Digivolving, so you have to like survive and attack. But this is where maybe the Exermon suspending your own Digimon comes in, you know? Because it says return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. So you Exermon, you suspend one of your level 4s to suspend this, and you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you Digivolve on top of it. You go ahead and get this effect, and then you Digivolve on top of the Kymon, and when you unsuspend, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, so like nothing's safe.
Ooh, I actually like this card.
I like this card. This card's sick.
It's a solid 8. Easily.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. I'm down. Then we got Spinoman, another 13k dual color, put this in your draft deck card.
Yep.
And then we got Shivamon. Opponent's turn. While all your Digimon are suspended, your opponent cannot use option cards. And then your turn, when this Digimon unsuspends in the unsuspend phase, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So, I mean, you like go into a big Shivamon stack. You got all these inheritables. You suspend it. You got all these inheritables, making it all big, and then your opponent can't use option cards. So it's like you give this like 2 DP boost up to 14k on your opponent's turn. 14 is a pretty hard number to beat, you know, like, and you can't use option cards. You can't Wyvern's Breath this. You can't Ultimate Flare this. You can't even Memory Boost. You can't Jack Raid. You can't like. You're just shutting down. I'm just getting big, and then next turn I'm gonna unsuspend and I'm gonna trash that security stack. I'm gonna swing in, and then next turn no option cards.
Oh man, Shivamon's going to be the best control deck.
I've watched a little bit of Shivamon games, and I mean this card's cool.
Like being able to
It's
shut
sick.
down an entire mechanic of Digimon just for being suspended. And then on top of that, you got the Exormon, the BBmon, the Postmon. Like they give you 1,000 for each of your suspended Digimon. Even just having one suspended, that's 3K extra. So that puts her at 15.
15.
Like, imagine trying to
15. Well, you gotta get into you gotta get an Omnimon, Susano. You gotta do something.
something like boost it up or something. Like this is gonna be a great control deck. People
Unless you're playing against a red deck where their dudes are like 19K. I mean, there's not a lot getting over this, and you can't use option cards as long as all your Digimon are spent. That's what I'm saying. You can just make one big Shivamon stack, build up another Shivamon stack in the back. So once this is gone, you promote it and you just run it back. Why you don't need aggression? Because you can just swing in with Shivamon and you can unsuspend and trash. You're just
you win in 5 turns. You put your opponent on the clock.
yeah. Oh, by the way, it's an insectoid. So you want to like maybe potentially you want to Hercule, what's it called? Hercule Kabuterimon or whatever. You want to go up into it. Here you go.
I didn't know it was an Insectoid.
It's an Insectoid.
Good.
It's pretty good.
All the support we got for Insectoids. That's so good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, wrap it up with green. It's got like 3 cards I like, and then like a bunch of cards I didn't like that much.
I agree. Like Exormon seems
like the Digmon was a little bit weak. The Shurimon is just bad.
I like the Raidramon.
Like the Terriermon's good. The Pulsemon's good. The Exormon has a chance. Raidраmon's decent. Climbmon's good and Shivamon's good, but I don't know. I wasn't like the highs of this are not as high as like it's not better than blue or yellow, you know.
No, I don't think it's better than red. If anything, like it's on par with red, but even then, the Digimon Sovereign that's in red, like, I would inch it above this. Like, I think green right now has probably the lowest. Like when it comes to ratings, probably the lowest of the 4 that we already went over.
I'd probably agree, just because it's just like I don't know. It's got cool cards, but I mean we were going over yellow and we're just like, dude, this card's crazy. This card's insane. We're going over blue. We're like, this card, and here it's just like, oh yeah, this card's cool. This card's all right. And then you get to Shivamon, you're like, ooh, this card's really good. But when it's only got like 1, it's really good, and a couple, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's like yeah. Green got pretty shafted, but that Shiva card has so much potential.
True. And we going into black.
Here we go.
Argomon, on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Greymon in its name, and 1 Digimon card with Dragonkin in its types among them to your hand. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. So Dragonkin is a pretty, like, both of those terms are pretty broad terms. There's a lot of things that you can hit with Greymon in its name and Dragonkin in its type.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So this is one of those cards, and it can Digivolve top black or red. I mean, this is a good card. I mean, it's just like all these searchers are gonna be good, but like this one is super broad. Like the Terriermon's good because you can hit Rapidmon, but there's way less things with Gargomon or Rapidmon in their name opposed to Greymon and Dragonkin.
Oh yeah, like you can this the entire War Greymon line and Sladramon line, and anything really that's dragon that's not really a dragon. Like this Argomon can hit it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Good card. For sure.
Oh yeah.
Then we got Kokuamon. All turns, players can't ignore Digivolution requirements. So
that's good.
That's good. It's real good.
It's
pretty good.
Shuts down a lot of hybrid plays.
There's a lot of things that ignore Digivolution requirements. Somebody says Magna Kidmon is Dragon Kid. So you can search Magna Kidmon.
Magna Kidmon is a Dragon Kid? Really? Interesting.
But yeah, this is a good effect. I don't know what to say about Kayukimon. Pretty good. Ryudomon, on play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with X antibody in its type, and 1 Yuji Musha card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Inheritable all turns while this Digimon has X antibody in its type. This Digimon gains decoy. It says parentheses black. What does that mean? It can only decoy black, I'm assuming? Or does all decoy say that and I just missed it?
All decoy black say decoy black, so you can't
okay,
decoy.
Gotcha. Okay, so I just missed that. So you're given a decoy if you got X antibody, but it's searching X antibody and it's searching a tamer. So really good.
Extremely good.
Really good, yeah.
Like that's what the deck needed. Like
yeah.
This is an instant 4 because it searches.
Oh, it's an instant 4.
Without Harry giving anything decoy, yes, I'll take it all day.
All day. Pretty good. Thundermon, the name of this card is also treated as Mamimon. I have nothing to say about this.
Just wait until you reach the Bantu Mamimon. You'll see why.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't remember all of the Mamimon cards. I definitely don't remember what Bancho Mamimon does, so we'll get to it, but I don't have anything to say about that right now.
None at all.
So we got Skull Knightmon Cavalier mode, so more Knightmon support from what we're getting in BT7, which is always good. This card / Digimon is also treated as Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon. When Digivolving, this card gains Jamming and Blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. So those are 2 pretty good keywords. It can Digivolve on top of a level 4 for 1 or a level 3 for 3. So you can also just use this as I'm going to Digivolve for 1 to cycle and I'm going to have a blocker, you know?
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, you're just you play the Deadly Axemon, you search, and then you can Digivolve on top of the Deadly Axemon for 1 and gain blocker, or you can go jamming, go offensive.
That's good. That's actually good.
And yeah, I think this is the first black card with jamming.
I want to say yes, outside of inheritables.
Yeah. So, yeah, good card. Ginryumon, I love this Digimon. I love this whole line. Just this whole line, the Ryudomon all the way up is just so good. Inheritable, opponent's turn. While this Digimon has X antibody in its traits, it gains blocker. So why not give it blocker and decoy, you know?
That's good.
That's good. It's 2 to Digivolve too. It's 2 to Digivolve.
So that means something like a dual Greymon that can't be deleted by a card effects or have its DP reduced, now becomes a blocker. So good. It is so good.
I'm a fan. This Greymon art is insane.
Man, this man's evil. Jeez.
Dude, he's going in. This is crazy Greymon. So we got 2 to Digivolve on top of red and black here. Level 3s, of course. Opponent's turn, inheritable. While you have a red Digimon in play, this Digimon gains blocker. So, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, having a red Digimon on board is a pretty low requirement considering the amount of red-black cards you could get going. We already have cards out now that are red Digimon that count as black Digimon or black Digimon that count as red Digimon. So this inheritable is pretty easy to get off. It has Greymon in its name, so it's easily searchable. Pretty good.
This is easily splashable, like
a lot. This is splashable in a lot.
Like you can splash this anywhere. Like red black is probably the best combination that you can play with. And this guy just
because here's the thing, you can play red base and play this as a champion and still Digivolve a red card on top of this, just because the cards we already have that can be red cards that can Digivolve on top of this, and you could just play this as a black champion in a mostly red deck, and then it just gives everything blocker.
Yep, or I mean even
and it gives you a black source to like play Ultimate Flare. Or whatever.
Right, like you can easily play this like a red black deck, but if your black Digimon has reboot, now if you have a red Digimon, you get reboot blocker. Like
yeah, I think this card it's not crazy, but it's easily splashable.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily
This is
slashable.
this is good.
So now we got Catch Mamimon, and Catch Mamimon, another one that we gotta shout out because this was a fan-made Digimon, but I believe it was called something else. I think it was called UFO Mamimon. I don't know, but the original, a long time ago, the origin of Catch Mamimon was from what I understand, was a fan-made Digimon that has come to be canon,
Nice.
So we got Catch Mamimon. When Digivolving, return up to 4 cards with Mamimon in their name from your hand or trash to the top of the deck in any order. If 3 or more cards returned by this effect, de-Digivolve 1 and to one of your opponent's Digimon. So sure.
Okay.
If you're this is a card where it's just like if you're playing Mamimon deck, you play this. It's an ultimate. It can de-Digivolve 1, which can mean a lot, especially in armor meta. But you're playing a Mamimon deck, so that's your downside.
This is true.
I don't know exactly how to say this. Hiyarimon? I've never known how to say this.
Close enough.
Yeah. Your turn. When a card is added to this Digimon's Digivolution cards by your effect, you can Digivolve this Digimon into a Digimon card with X antibody and its types in your hand by paying its Digivolution costs. If you reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 1. So that effect is already insane. And then we have Inheritable Opponent's turn. While this Digimon has X antibody in its type, it gains Reboot. So this is a minimum 9, right?
Yes.
This is just like if you're playing this deck, this is nuts.
You have to play it. Like, one of the biggest downfalls of X anybody is being able to swing big, but then it's suspended. So you need to have Reboot. So given something that's searchable with
Reboot that has X antibody. It's a card that gives Reboot with X antibody. You don't have to play the other Reboot cards, and you have a Your Turn effect that could let you literally Digivolve into your Mega for 1 less, and then it has Reboot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. This is like a card where it's just like this is like one of those type of like Yu-Gi-Oh cards where it's like it's so good for an archetype that it's like would be an expensive card if it wasn't like Digimon common.
If it's in Yu-Gi-Oh, it would literally be like a $25 card easily.
So then we got a black-red Metal Greymon, so can Digivolve on top of black and red level 4s for 4, and then of course it has Greymon in its name, and that's always going to be important. And it's a cyborg, which is also important, but when Digivolving, trigger de-Digivolve 1 on your opponent's Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Inheritable, your turn. While this Digimon has Dragonkin or Machine in its type, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. This is another banger.
Yeah, shout out to Romero. This is direct support
This
for
is
Machine Dramon deck.
I mean, this is support for a lot of things. I feel like it's a Greymon, so it's searchable. It can de-Digivolve 1, which I just talked about is a pretty decent effect in this metagame. Plus, it pops Digimon 3k DP or less, so that's probably just a rookie. But then it also has the Inheritable of your machines and Dragonkins can attack over your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is just crazy, ridiculous, good ability to have on a Mega that you would put on top of this because you're probably going to be able to put different various Greymon type cards or machine cards on top of this, like let's say Machine Dramon, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play my Machine Dramon and put 5 cards underneath it. I have blocker, reboot, security attack +1. I can attack over your like. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Good card. And then here we go. We got Bancho Mamimon. So let's read this. When Digivolving, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. For each of your opponent's Digimon, you may play a card with Mamimon its name from among them with a play cost of 10 or less without paying their cost. Trash the remaining cards. All turns, if you control another Digimon with Mamimon its name, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So basically what we're saying is the Mamimon archetype now has 1 good card.
Yes.
Cool. I'm with it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm down that the Mamimon archetype has 1 good card. But that's how I feel. I feel like it has one good card, and that's not enough. I feel like you have to play too many subpar cards for this to be worth it. Because, yeah, you can go ahead and play out. You can Digivolve into this. You can play out, like, 2-3 Mamimons that are, like, ultimates, and that's pretty sick. And then you can go ahead and, like, you can swing for 2 checks at 11k, which is already a downside in itself, as we talked about multiple times. But I don't really have anything too bad about to say this. It's like, the Mamimon to me is still kind of like a meme deck. If you're playing Mamimon, you just like Mamimon. You want to play something a little fun. This isn't going to really change that, but it makes it at least has something to play around. You know, this gives it new life.
You can at least play a meme deck. Well, I think that's what Mamimon really was supposed to be. It's supposed to be meme.
Yeah.
But look at the type.
Brachiomon for sure.
Look, it's a mutant / boss. That's the type in it. Like, I'm like, okay.
I don't know. It's Bancho Mamimon. We got Oriyumon. We already.
Oh yeah.
Oh. When Digivolving, you place 1 Digimon card with X antibody in its types from your hand under this Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card. If you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less, your turn, once per turn, you may place a Digimon card under one of your Digimon as a Digivolution card. This Digimon gains plus 2k DP and can be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then we have a level 6 with an inherited effect. End of attack, once per turn. If this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, unsuspend it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, this card.
Let me know what you got about it, because this is, whenever I think about this archetype, I always just think of you. Right? I love this. I love these cards. I was messing with this line in Cyber Sleuth, but the top memory that comes to my mind when I think of this stuff is Dante.
Like this card does everything. Right now, play Alphamon, you have to play a dual Goromon / Alphamon deck to a dual Goromon's the main. Nah, when this set comes out, it is strictly Alphamon at 4. Let's go. Like, being able to put this as an inheritable, being able to attack with Alphamon twice, all the inheritables, +1/+2 security check, and then
gain some memory
while you're doing it at the same time. Right, like what? Like,
oh my goodness.
This is amazing. Like, this is what makes the Alphamon deck actually go. I'm so happy this is coming out next set.
Yeah, this card's sick. And speaking of sick cards, Black-Red, Black War Growlmon, or Black War Greymon. When Digivolving, if there's a red card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may choose your opponent's Digimon. If there is a black card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may choose your opponent's Tamers. Delete any number of chosen cards whose totals play cost adds up to 6 or less. So basically what we're saying here is we have something else to kill Tamers, which is huge, huge. That effect itself makes this card a 10. Don't even have to get into the next effect. The fact that you can delete Tamers, not be a level 7, not need to all delete, blow everything off the board, it's a 10. Then we got all turns once per turn. When your opponent's Digimon are deleted, you can unsuspend this Digimon. And it's all turns. So, nuts.
So you can
just nuts.
You can delete a possibility of 4 cards.
You can delete a lot.
Oh my goodness! You can delete 2 3-cost Tamers and 2 rookies on just 1 Digivolution. Wow! This card is so good.
This card's insane.
So
it's so insane.
Oh
It's so much less requirements. It's just, it's nuts. It's nuts.
It just says, yo, Digivolve into me. I got you. We good.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So what do we think of Black as a whole? From what we know over there.
Oh man, I mean, outside the Mimimons, you know.
Yeah, besides the memes, yeah, we can throw those out.
I think the Argomon line, and I think the X antibody line is just extraordinarily good. Even the Skull Nightmon Cavalier mode is actually great.
I think Black is amazing. I think it's literally the Thundermon, the Catch Mamimon, and the Bancho Mamimon that are just kind of like they're their own little thing. Everything else is just fairly good, splashable at worst. Like
I put
the,
it right
the
behind
Kayukimon having this effect is dope. Like,
yeah. I put it right behind yellow. Yellow's the highest. I think I put black right behind yellow.
I'll put it up there. I'll put it up there. No. It probably beats out blue. It's got to beat out blue. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. So, getting into our last color before we go ahead and get into the tamers and the options. We got purple. So, we got Psychmon. All turns, players can't reduce play costs. So, dope. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just good.
Yeah,
it's just good.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just good. Is it niche in some metagames? Sure, but the effect is objectively a good effect. You know, it's not always good. Scorpiomon wasn't amazing in BT6, but hey, we go into BT7, it's pretty good. You know, it doesn't mean it was a bad card in BT6. It just was niche. So it's just one of those cards where it's just like, this is, hey, your players, all turns, players can't reduce play costs. So that does count you, but if you're not trying to reduce play costs, it doesn't do anything. Like, this is potentially one of the strongest sideboard cards.
Yeah, like Aquilomon, like they all come out as 4, so you can't, play them without ending your turn.
Yeah, this is just a good card. I mean, maybe when I say it's the strongest sideboard card, maybe not so much. But I mean, like, this is those type of cards where it's just like, it's just what it's good against. It's really good against.
Oh, yeah.
For very low cost. It's just a 3 to drop 3K rookie. Pretty good. And it's a purple Gabumon, so.
Yeah, it's a crazy Gabumon.
Yeah. Then we got Devimon, so more Devimons, which the more Devimons we print, the more scary the Dan Devi stuff could potentially get in the future. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Tamer card among them to your hand, and trash 1 purple Digimon card among them. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Sure.
That's a potential. You can get a Tamer to your hand, trash 1, and then put 1 bottom. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's good.
I like that.
I don't think there's really anything else to say about that. It's pretty cool. Mushroomon is just 4K 3-drop. There we go. Soulmon. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. So, we've seen this effect earlier with this inheritable. This is just a card where if you're doing that, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing that, it's probably just useless.
These are the cards that do what you want to do.
Yeah.
This is pretty
it's
good.
It's a card that does something for specific. Then we got Purple Green, level 4, Kayukimon. Retaliation, so gonna be the only green card with Retaliation as far as I know. And did evolve on top of level 3 purple and green for 2. But yeah, this card's pretty bad.
I mean, the only application I can see is going into like a Hiyarimon and giving blocker retaliation, but that's not it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's almost like,
retaliation.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't do it for me. And neither is Fangmon. Fangmon's definitely not doing it for me. We got a 2 to Digivolve, 4K, level 4 with Retaliation. I mean, it's just Retaliation. There's nothing else about it. It doesn't have inheritable. It's just, it retaliates. That's what we're here to do, you know?
I'd rather play my oldest mon stuff from EX01 that has retaliation.
Yeah.
That has
yeah, this is the type of stuff where it works with that, but it's niche. This isn't a card where you're playing it in multiple purple decks, you know?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. And a lot of these cards we've seen so far, outside of like the Psychmon and kind of the Devimon kind of fits in this too. All these cards that we've seen in the first 5 have all been very niche. They're all just, they're niche. Very, very niche. Then we got Black Padamon, which is going to be way less niche because it is got yellow on it, which is important. It's got purple on it, which is pretty important. And when you put them together, it's really important, especially when you give it this really cool keyword called Rush. And then the Retaliation inheritable. So the Retaliation inheritable doesn't really do much for me, if I'm going to be honest. The Rush keyword is doing a lot for me, and the fact that it's purple-yellow is also doing a lot for me. So, not the greatest inheritable, like we just talked about the Kayukimon. It just doesn't really do anything for me, but it does have Rush, so that's pretty big. And it's purple-yellow, which is a much better combination than purple-green. So, this is like probably pushing decent, just because Rush, I don't know.
Yeah, I give it a meh just because it's a 3 to Digivolve from a low of 3, which is
That is true.
crazy.
I put this somewhere probably for me like in between like 5 and 6 because it's got downsides, but it has rush, and not a lot of things have rush, and not a lot of things are both purple and yellow.
I give it a solid 5. Retaliation is
But
doing
retaliation is just probably, in my opinion, retaliation is like borderline the weakest keyword in the entire game.
it should be
It's
only on.
it's
It
good.
should be only
Like
right. It
it's
should be
good at
only on
times. Like right now in the purple yellow hybrid stuff, I'm playing the retaliation egg because giving retaliation to a rookie that has an on deletion effect that does other things, that's pretty good. But
right.
I don't really want my level 5 and level 6 to have retaliation unless I have blocker. Other than that, it's not really. It means almost nothing to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's on a rookie inheritable, fine. If it's on an egg inheritable, that's fine.
Yeah.
But in order for you to put on a champion, meaning your ultimate is gonna have to crash into something, like yes, it could be a mega, but you're stacking up 2 or 3 cards to take out one mega. Like, yeah, nah, I'm not.
I don't know. It's the rush and the dual color that's doing it for me. That
Yeah,
makes me have a potential. If this was a full purple card or a full yellow card and said the exact same thing, I'd probably say it sucks. The fact that it's both gives it utility, but yeah, I'm gonna give this maybe like a 5. I'm gonna put it right in the middle for me.
yeah, solid 5 for me.
And then, is it snowing like crazy for you too?
Yeah.
It's like a blizzard outside my window right now. I just noticed. I was like, oh my goodness. Karatinmon, just a 2 to Digivolve, vanilla level 5. Skull Satamon. When Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then return 1 card with Demon Lord and its traits from your trash to your hand. That's kind of nuts. And you inheritable, your turn once per turn. When cards are trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory. So this makes a lot of the other cards really good, right?
Yes.
And then also being able to bring back a Demon Lord from your trash to your hand. Pretty good.
A lot of people don't understand that. That means Lovemon.
Yeah.
That means Beelzemon.
Yeah.
That means Creepymon when we get that. That means my oldest.
I mean, Lilith is the main thing that I thought about when I thought about it.
Like you just get them right. Like we want to trash, but oh wait, I trashed the wrong card. Oh, I'm gonna get that back. Like, come on now, really? Like you went plus for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. I really do think it's good.
I think it's good.
Trash you never return one. Oh,
No, it's good. It's good.
An inheritable.
We got Myotismon. Another Myotismon here. When Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Then you may play 1 Yukio Oikawa from your trash without paying the memory cost. And then inheritable on deletion. If this Digimon has Myotismon in its name, you play 1 Yukio Oikawa from your hand or trash suspended without paying its memory cost. So this is just staple Myotismon card. You play Myotismon, you're playing this.
Oh yeah,
and then you can even borderline play this on cards where you're just trashing the top to gain the memory. Because if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Tamer based around Myotismon? Yeah, the Yukio is based around Myotismon. So this is just the Myotismon. This is just a good Myotismon card. Real good.
All the support they're giving Myotismon, like it has to be a decent deck. Like,
at some point, they're gonna keep giving Myotismon cards to the point where it's got to be good eventually. But this is a really good Myotismon card.
Yes, it is.
Is it a good purple card? It's meh. Unless you're trying to take advantage in another purple deck of trashing the top to gain those effects.
I've been trashed for your hand.
Unless you're if you're taking advantage of that, this could be an okay card. Outside of that, it's really bad. And then in Myotismon, it's probably the Myotismon deck, it's probably one of your better Myotismon cards.
Yeah,
By far. So now let's go ahead and get into Crazy Man, big crazy art, full art, scary McGee. Rasenmon Fury Mode, another level 6 with an inheritable, and it's going to be a level 6 that can Digivolve on top of purple and yellow, but it's a full purple card. End of attack, you may Digivolve this card into a Rasenmon in your hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying its Digivolution cost. End of your turn, trash the top card of your security stack, and then your turn, inheritable. When this card is trashed as a Digivolution card by Rasenmon's effect, unsuspend one of your Digimon and give it plus 3 KDP for the turn. So this is like Myotismon to me, where it's like if you're playing the deck, if you're playing the Rasenmon, this goes hard.
Yeah.
This goes hard. If you're not playing Rasamon, you're not touching this with a 10-foot stick.
Yeah, it punishes you for not playing the Rasen.
Yeah, you have to play the Rasamon, or else it's like, end your turn, trash the top of your security stack.
Right, and then Rasenmon is good because I believe it's on Digivolution. Do you Digiburst? So you Digiburst this card.
I think it's a main effect.
Did it main effect?
Yeah.
I have to look at it. I have like 5 of them, but
I believe it's a main effect.
But
But either way, you could Digiburst this to unsuspend, or you can get rid of it to.
Free, though.
Yeah.
It's
for 3.
though.
It's for 3. Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is like my Otismon for me. It's really good in what it's good in, and it's really just useless in everything else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I put it.
I agree with you. Like, I mean, yeah, going to Rasenmon for free after you attack with this is amazing. But outside of everything else, you're not playing this card unless you want a neg card.
Yeah, no. But now we got Ophanimon Fall Down mode, which can Digivolve from Ophanimon for a cost of 2. Otherwise, it's a 4 to Digivolve for purple and yellow. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has a purple Digivolution card... Tongue-tied. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has a purple Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If this Digimon has a yellow Digivolution card, trigger Recover +1. And then on deletion, play one purple or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So, I mean, this is pretty good.
It's very good.
It's pretty good. When you're Digivolving, if you have a purple Digivolution card or a yellow Digivolution card, you get effects. You're probably going to have both. So essentially, it's when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon and recover one. And then on deletion, play something from your trash. So, the Ophanimon cards, in my opinion, aren't the craziest.
That's about to ask, like, what's the best of Ophanimon?
Yeah, I don't know if you're as much putting this on top of Ophanimon for 2 as much as you're Digivolving for 4 to get the other effects.
Right.
But I think this card is decent. It's purple-yellow, which again is kind of a big deal, because there's just going to be a lot of support for those color combinations, and they just are both colors that have very powerful cards that you get access to by having this, and it's just a good effect. Like, deleting something with a play cost of, or deleting a level 4 lower Digimon is very good, and recovering one is very good. Unconditional recover one, besides having a yellow level yellow Digivolution source, like, and then it's got a good on deletion card. I don't think this card is crazy. I think it has an amazing art, but I think it's just decent. Like, it's not bad.
Yeah, the effects are good.
Yeah.
But the fact that the best Ophanimon is probably the one that just came out in BT7,
and that one's
rare,
not that
and that one, right?
Amazing.
Right,
that's what I was saying. I don't think you're Digivolving on top of Ophanimon for 2. I think you're just running this as a solo Ophanimon Mega.
Yeah. You're just gonna take the 4 and just gonna call it a day because you're probably already using Jorgus to get up to a 5 anyways. So yeah, like I could, yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright. Like, to delete level 4 lore, pesky blockers, bye bye. Recover one, good. And then on deletion, replace itself, not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty good in my opinion.
I just want to, I'm just going to note, so we're going to go into the Malomyotismon, but this Rasenmon free mode, the Ophanimon, and the Malomyotismon are basically, they could be passed off as alt-arts.
Yeah.
So now we got another Myotismon card. We got the Malomyotismon. On play, if you have 5 or more cards with Myotismon in their name in your trash, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon and trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. When Digivolving, trash the top 5 cards of your deck. Then if you have a card with Myotismon in its name in your trash, gain 1 memory. So I'm more wanting to on play this more so than I want to when Digivolve this. But this is one of those things where I like, you're playing Myotismon. I mean, deleting an unsuspended Digimon, which is probably a Mega, and then trashing the top security stack. I mean, that's not a bad effect. It's just that you're having to pay 13, which is yikes. And the when Digivolving effect is just kind of weak. You get to trash the top 5, which can be helpful to gain memory with those effects. And then if you have a Myotismon in the trash, which you almost certainly will, you get to gain another memory. So you could Digivolve into this for like 1 with the inheritables that gain memory when you trash it from your deck. But the Wind Digivolving effect is just way weaker than the on play, and the on play is going to cost you 13. So it's like you play this in Myotismon decks, but it's not probably your main go-to Myotismon.
Now that I'm thinking about it, so there's cards from BT4, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That it brings Metal Myotismon out for 3 out the
Oh,
trash.
right. Yeah. It does say Malomyotis.
So, yeah, so like I think it's Mummymon that does that. So that then sets
that makes it way better. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. These type of cards are good in like the Myotismon deck. Like whatever you're playing in Myotismon, it's gonna work.
In a vacuum, it sucks, but in the vacuum,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And then the yeah, okay, yeah, and then the Tamer too. Somebody said in chat, I was like, I swear there was something else that was in this set, but since we haven't got to the Tamer, I forgot. The Yu-Gi-Oh! End of opponent's turn, if this Tamer is suspended, you can play 1 Malomyotismon from your trash without paying its memory cost by deleting this Tamer. And then all turns, when your Digimon with Myotismon as its name is deleted, you can spend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. So you're getting this out. I did forget about... I knew there was a card. I didn't remember there being a card in the past. I thought it was an option card that we were going to get to later that did that, but... It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, I mean, it's just a Malomyotismon card. There's really not much to say about it. Like when we rate how good it is, it's how good is it in the Malomyotismon deck or the Myotismon deck. But then that like asks a bigger question: how good is the Myotismon deck?
All right, like
which I don't really see it being tier 1 yet. Might start pushing. It's getting support. Might start pushing tier 3, tier 2. Maybe. I mean, we got a lot of dual color and purple, so you can do a lot of different stuff in the lower stages getting up into this. But yeah, it's a Myotismon card.
It's definitely Rogue, and Rogue is usually like tier 2,
tier 3, yeah.
Top tier 3. So
but it's getting more support. So it's getting like with the Ultimate Myotismon, the Malomyotismon, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! It's doable. We have other cards in the past that are going to be able to help you out. We got these inheritables where when you're like trashing cards, you gain a memory or whatever. You got the Myotismon. It can work.
Oh yeah, you can definitely make it. You can make it run, but how consistent?
Yeah. So what are we thinking overall for purple?
Purple got shafted. Like,
yeah.
I'm being real.
Yeah. No. You're right.
Most
of this, almost every single card in this deck is niche. It doesn't buff up purple. It buffs up specific archetypes. Like the most broad card is like the Ophanimon and the Psychmon.
Yep. I agree with that. The Psychmon, like,
and then the Skull Sadamon obviously will help with other decks. Because you can bring back Loop, stuff like that, or Lilith. You can bring back Lilith. You can bring back whatever.
Yeah.
But overall, very niche. It's very purple. It's very purple of them to give them these cards.
Yeah. Like, they boost purple up in other, side sets and, structure decks. But when it comes to the main set, they're like, nah, we give them the shaft because they're already too powerful. That's what they do.
All right, Chimeramon time. This is a card that's been talked about since release, right? So we got DNA Digivolve level 4 plus level 4 is 0 cost. When Digivolving, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Then up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1k DP for each color this Digimon has until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then your turn, this Digimon is also treated as the color of the cards in its Digivolution cards. While this Digimon has 4 or more colors, it gains 4k DP. So this is like the Swiss Army knife, the Digimon card.
This is so good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why they, on the ban list, they hit Eismon the 1. This is the card why they did that, because you can get a free Jorgus into this Chimeramon. That's why they did that.
It's pretty good.
This is too good. This is way too good.
It's just... Yeah, it's good. You can buff it up to 12k too.
Right, like it's generic with any color. So it makes it, any two, three colors right off the back. You can put another one underneath to make it 4 or 5 colors. And if you do that, you get a benefit of giving it 4,000 more DP.
Uh-huh.
Makes it 12K. It's already unsuspended, so it can attack. And then it reduces, up to 4 your opponent Digimon by 1K DP for every color it is. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy good.
It's a lot. It's a lot for an ultimate. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's just really good.
100%. All right, that's crazy good.
So now we're getting in towards the end here. The tamers and the options will probably go a little bit quicker. So we're gonna start off with the tamers here. We got Yole Inui. I'm gonna say this wrong because I didn't watch the anime. I apologize.
Yuli.
Start of your turn or start of your main phase. If you have a red Digimon to play, gain a memory. So sure. Your turn, when your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you can suspend this tamer to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. Sure, yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Only guaranteed for you to go to 2. That's
yeah, you get to go to 2 if you got a red Digimon in play, and you can delete a 3k DP or less, but I don't see this. This doesn't really fit any archetypes. It's just kind of might be used.
Right.
And then Hero, we got started turn if your memory is 2 or less, becomes 3, so Memory Tamer. Your turn, when one of your Digimon with Gammamon in its name or your level 5 or higher Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give one of your Digimon plus 2k DP for the turn, so it's just it's a Memory Tamer for Gammamon stuff.
Oh, okay. My eyes was going crazy. I thought it said 20K. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I know, it's just yeah, so swing over anything.
Okay, this is not bad. For it to be a memory channel, this is not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like it. I actually like this better than a tie from set 1.
Right. Yeah. TK, blue TK. So, Memory Tamer. Opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks your blue Digimon, you may suspend this Tamer to draw 1. So, this is a pretty decent value card. Blue has pretty good tamers already, and it has this really, really good memory tamer called Davis. So I don't think this is a bad card. I think it's in tough competition with some of the cards that are already released. But I mean, memory tamer, and when your Digimon gets attacks, you get to draw 1. I mean, that's pretty decent value. I don't know.
Now my thing is, what's the ruling on blockers?
When your opponent attacks your blue Digimon, I mean, I don't know how it works with tamers or with blockers.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know that for sure. I want to say you can block and draw 1, but I wouldn't know that for sure. But I don't know. I don't see me playing this over like Davis.
Yeah, it's still not Davis.
It's not Davis.
But...
Like Davis be going hard.
Oh yeah, Davis.
Speaking of Davis, we got another broken Davis card coming in. So Davis just always going crazy. So Davis and Ken here, start your main phase. If you have a blue Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. If you have a green Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon that has 2 or more colors, you suspend this tamer to unsuspend that Digimon. So, we get this really cool thing called Imperial Dramon coming out. Which just so happens to play a lot of blue and green cards, even both in the same card. So, in that deck, you're also going to play this really cool card called The Other Davis. So, you're going to be going to 5 with this. You're going to be able to Digivolve, suspend to unsuspend your Digimon. I mean, this card is just potentially might be the strongest card in the whole set.
Jeez.
My opinion. It's just, considering what the metagame's going to look like, considering the effect that it does, considering what you're going to do, considering that it gives you access to good color, it's a tamer, it's so good.
It is so insanely crazy. I mean, poor Ragermon. Ragermon is the only blue-green target in the armor release that would actually give it 2 memory off of this. So, I mean, there you go. If you want to, there you go.
There you go.
Well,
but I don't know. This card is just so much
insane.
value.
It is.
It's incredible value.
Extremely good.
Yeah. Insane card. Then we got Cody. Cody here. Start your main phase. If you have a yellow Digimon in play, gain a memory. Your turn. When your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you may suspend this tamer to give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2k for the turn.
Not bad.
Yeah, you might one of it in like a weird Shine Greymon deck where you're running multi. I don't know. I don't like this card too much.
Oh, it's when it attacks. No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was when it was you had 2. I thought it was like when you have a dual color, you can suspend it.
That would make it pretty good.
Cause I'd be like, okay, Shine.
I was gonna say that'd be pretty good, but like I say, I see this at maybe as like a weird Shine build. Don't know if I really like this card a lot.
I don't touch it. We got other cards for that.
Yeah. We got another Kari. I love stacking up my Karis on my Shine list, you know. So, Memory Tamer Kari. And then your turn, when a card is added to your security stack, you can spend this tamer to gain a memory. Ooh. This is really good.
That is good.
This is good in multiple archetypes. Dual color probably changes a lot of what modern Digimon looks like right now. But this is still just a good card because it's a memory tamer. You can put it in like Shine. And it's just when you recover, which is going to happen with like I can name so many cards that are going to recover you. You get to gain a memory. Right. So it's a memory tamer that also gains you extra memory. So it's like, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good indeed. Yeah, for Ulta in the chat, they was talking about that structured decks are going to be coming out when BT8 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, when this stuff comes out, we should have the structured decks too. That was...
Who'd you say? Somebody said there was an uncommon tamer. Oh, Kari is an uncommon tamer.
Kari's an uncommon tamer? Wow. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Huh.
Are any of the other ones uncommon? Is that... Oh, TK is uncommon.
Wait, TK's uncommon too? Whoa, wow. Okay, that's interesting.
That is interesting. Okay,
okay.
alright. Willis!
Willis.
Go back to the beginning. On play, you may hatch one Digi-Egg card to an empty space in your breeding area. So, sure. Your turn, when Digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Gargomon or Rapidmon in its name, you may suspend this tamer or reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 1. I don't really think I need this. I'm down to play Rapidmon without this. I think I like Mimi a little bit more than I like this.
Mimi's so much better than this.
Mimi doing a little different thing where we can hatch into a space. We get a little bit once Gargomon and Rapidmon get a little bit better. I can feel Willis get a little bit better, but as of right now, I'm not feeling Willis at all.
That on play though, what's the purpose of the on play? Like,
I don't know. You go to 3, you promote, and then you on play it to hatch and Digivolve again. But you could just have Mimi and do pretty much the exact same thing. Like, I don't know. I don't.
Like,
Willis isn't doing it for me.
Doesn't do anything.
We got Yuji Musha. Start a turn when your Digimon with X antibody and its type moves from the breeding area to the battle area. You gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. So, Ty and Matt from BT6 for X antibody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say less restrictive than Ty and Matt because of the typing opposed to name, but I could be wrong.
Argomon, Gobblebon.
Yeah. Your turn, when your black Digimon with X antibody and its type attacks, you may suspend this tamer to add 1 card with X antibody and its types from your hand under that Digimon at the bottom of the Digivolution source. So,
yes.
Just really good, right?
Yes, you don't have to depend on the Digimon Digivolving or attacking. You can just do it.
Just do it.
Like they go, okay, I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna then put one underneath. Oh, damn, play this and then put another one underneath.
Yeah.
So you can go from +1 security attack to +3 by declaring an attack.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, this card is real good. Yeah, you put this under. You can put this with like the Oriyumon and the just any of the inheritables.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Yuji's good card. And then we've got Yukio Okawa, which we already went over pretty much. When a Myotismon is deleted, you can suspend it to gain 1 memory all turns, and then end of your opponent's turn. If this Digimon is suspended, you can play 1 Malomyotis from your trash without paying its memory by deleting this tamer. So we already kind of talked about this. It sticks the same. It's if you're playing Myotismon, it's really good. The end of opponent's turn effect, or the all turns effect, is a little bit more manageable to deal with, just because if you don't suspend it on your turn, your opponent could just not delete one of your Myotismons, and so it doesn't get suspended. So then they can't go into the Malomyotismon. So it's play aroundable to a degree, but it's just a Myotismon card, like we mentioned multiple times. If you're playing Myotismon, hell yeah. But if you're not playing Myotismon, you're not playing this.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Myotismon that brings this tamer out from the trash suspended. I can't remember which Myotismon it is.
That is the ultimate one, the inheritable, right? On deletion, if this Digimon has Myotismon in its name, you may play 1 Yukio Oikawa from your hand or trash suspended without paying its memory cost.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works there for sure.
Okay, it's a good tamer for Myotismon.
Then we got the Digimon Emperor. All turns, when your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this tamer to trigger draw 1. Opponent's turn, when your opponent's level 3 Digimon moves from the breeding area to battle, gain 2 memory. So...
Such an anti-rookie rush card.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, this card's pretty good. It's a good white tamer.
And it's so generic.
There's so few cards that like consistently take memory from your opponent on their turn, and the ones that we've seen have either been broken or used a lot, i.e. Ice Wall and Purple Kari. I don't see this not being usable or good. It's you want white tamer for whatever reason. This is good value. You can get multiple draw ones, and you can get memory taken away. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think,
yeah. Emperor and Takumi out here, like, all my homies hate rookies.
Man, yeah, no, right? I think this, to be honest with you, I think between this and Takumi, you're really not gonna play Analog Boy anymore. This card is just that much better.
I mean, they have different effects, but this one's pretty good.
Like just generic, just being generic, like this does so much more than Analog Boy.
So the tamer's pretty good.
I think tamers are pretty good.
It's pretty good tamers. A couple duds, but
yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Pretty good. Some pretty good ones. Getting into the options, starting off with Fire Rocket. Well, you have a Digimon with armor in its traits in play. You may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Main, one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gains security attack +1 for the turn, and then security effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker. So the security effect, probably going to be useless a lot of the time, but being able to, for 1 memory, give any of your armor cards security attack +1, like I said earlier, you're playing like Armor Rush. You're going. You're swinging.
I'm done. Why is this card a 1 cost? I'm so done. What?
I mean, it's very similar to, because this isn't the first time we've seen this. We got the Lightning Joust, and we got Atomic Inferno, right? So we're doing the same thing. It's just giving it to armor cards, which are already pretty good, is pretty good.
No, giving it to any 2-color Digimon. Like,
yeah.
What? So I can literally play an Imperadramon and
swing, suspend, swing.
Right.
4 checks.
I wouldn't care. Oh my God. Wow, this is a great card.
This card's insane. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty good card. Static Force. 3 cost, main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4k DP or less. If you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors in play, or a Digimon with a Digivolution card with 2 or more colors in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7k DP or less instead. Security, activate main effect. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's... yeah. It's not crazy. It's not bad. It's just...
You can
Three
delete a
cost to
ultimate
delete a
3.
7 cost or less. When if you're playing this in a deck, you're pretty much getting the secondary effect like all the time.
Right.
So 3 to delete something with 7k or less with that same effect, it's pretty decent value.
That's ultimate level. Like, you delete ultimates for 3.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. With a cost with the cost being something that you're gonna naturally do.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
that's so good. That is so good.
Last full red option card here. Crimson Blaze. Reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each Digimon your opponent has in play, so could make it less than 6 for sure. Main, delete all your opponent's Digimon with 6k DP or less, then your opponent can't play Digimon by effects until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Okay, anti-purple. I'm just
Yeah.
saying
And then at security, activate this card's main effect. So,
Right.
yeah, wow. This against, like, Shrubimon. This against Jesmon. This against any yellow deck that runs Angelmon. Your Waymon deck.
Yeah.
Anti-Waymon.
Yeah. She's what is this? Oh my goodness. It's like, no, you're not about to build wide anymore.
Then we got blue 3-cost Innocence Blizzard. Main, trash the top Digivolution card of all your opponent's Digimon. Then, up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block till the end of your opponent's next turn. Security, activate the main effect. This card's just would be good in, like, blue hybrid right now.
This is literally Hexablow support.
This is blue support. This is just a blue. This is blue.
Just good, just blue trashing, period. Like, just be able to trash the top of all of them,
Yeah.
and then like,
Goodbye.
oh yeah, by the way, these 3.
Oh,
Can't
this
attack
can't.
no
Yeah.
block.
Oh, you thought Tom? Oh, you thought Tommy was bad. Oh well, 3 of them aren't doing it now.
This is not bad for a 3 cost. I actually like this card.
I think this card's. I actually, the more I look at it, this card's good. It has to be good.
Yeah. I like this.
Is it a 4 of good? Probably not. Is it good? Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, definitely 2 of in the deck.
Then we got Giga Death, 9-drop, blue green, main. Suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, then return up to 10 of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck in any order.
What?
Security, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, then return 1 of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of your deck. This card is hilarious.
Tell me, okay, so tell me why. I did a review on this set.
Okay.
My future visions. And I remember going through it, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning when I did it. So I went through the card, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a great card. And kept going. But now that I'm rereading it, I'm like, wait, return up to 10 that's suspended.
Imagine this. No. I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine this. It's your opponent's turn, right? And you got your 1 of Giga Death in hand. It's your opponent's turn. They swing into your security. You flip over Flower Cannon. And then it brings back to your turn and you play Mega Death and you board clear.
Jeez Louise. This is the 2nd highest memory cost, if I'm not mistaken. All deletes to 10, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is insane.
This is
It
insane.
has to be. And
it's got a really good security effect. It basically is just bottom deck 1 of your opponent's Digimon.
Any of them. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's like,
I
oh,
that
you
bad.
can suspend 1 of them so it can't attack and then bottom deck another, or you could just suspend the 1 and then bottom deck that 1.
Right, it's like, oh, okay, you got set +3. Oh, this is the first card you hit. Bye bye.
Yeah, gone.
It's like bye bye. Whatever. It's done.
Yeah, this card's cool. It's really expensive. I don't know the viability of it, but I mean the effect is insane.
You know, people's gonna be splashing one of these in every Imperiumon deck.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
They're like, look, I play blue green, so I can play this card. It doesn't matter.
I think I don't know, it's cool. Main, 1 of your opponent's Disaster Blaster, 3-cost yellow. Main, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets -3k DP for the turn. If you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors, or a Digimon with a card that has 2 or more colors in its Digivolution sources, then 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets -6k DP for the turn instead. So, -6k DP for 3 is pretty decent as well.
That's good. That kills what? all champions that's not boosted.
Most champions, yeah.
Yeah. It's like 90% champions that's not boosted. Like it just kills them.
It's pretty
It's not bad.
pretty okay. Then we got
Bad.
Plasma Shot, 4-cost yellow option. If you have a Digimon with hybrid and its traits in play, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4k DP for the turn, and for each card with armor and its traits in your trash, all your opponent's Digimon get minus 1k DP for the turn. So, this could be a lot of DP reduction. And the fact that it says, like, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1k DP at the end, this, at some point, could just be a board clear. This could just be like, this is like Purge Shine on a whole other level.
Oh yeah. This is decent. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is good.
And you can, and even though it's yellow, it doesn't matter. If you have an armor in play, you can play it. So even if you're not playing yellow, you just be like, oh dang, I have like 4 armor cards in trash. So I'm gonna give that one minus 4, and then all of them minus 4. So that one gets minus 8.
Sheesh. That's good.
All right. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say right here? We got.
She says, Sam, hi.
We got question mark card.
Just says Sam, hi.
You may suspend
Correct.
one of your Digimon, or 1-cost main. You may suspend one of your Digimon to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Your opponent's cards suspended with this effect cannot unsuspend until the end of their next turn. So
That's good.
one to Digivolve to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon that can't unsuspend next turn is pretty good.
Digimon or Tamers. That's good.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, this card's nuts. No, this card's broken. Yeah, no, this card's... And the security effects suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Yeah, no, this card's broken. This card's insane.
Yes, hitting them Tamers for 1 cost. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I just... My brain... Like, my eyes and my brain didn't make that connection for a second. Yeah. This card's insane. Yeah, no, this card's ridiculous. Oh, the name's up here. I thought there was actually question marks. I was like, what the hell?
On a card, it is.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Be correct.
this card's nuts. Lightning Blade, another 1-cost green card. Well, you have a Digimon with armor and its traits in play. You may use this. You may play this card without meeting color requirements. Main, one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gets plus 2k DP and piercing for the turn.
Okay.
I mean, given your armor's piercing is when you're also giving them +1 security check and your Magnamon's at like 17k, I mean, it's
So
pretty good.
So good.
I think this is probably the one it's not used like a lot. This is like a nice little one of that you could throw in, but I think this is one of those cards where it's like if you're trying to go full aggro rush, you could play this at one of them. You could just get sec +1 and piercing and be at 1,000,000 DP and call it good. But I guess that begs the question: is how much are your armor Digimon gonna want to attack into other Digimon opposed to going face?
Well, it depends. You might see a blocker and you'd be like, you know what? Forget your blocker. I'm about to just,
Yeah.
pierce right over it.
I think this card's okay. I think it's cool. I think it's like when you pair with like Fire Rocket, and you have like all these other armor cards that went through. I don't think it's terrible.
No. You gotta pair it with something though.
I'm not even gonna try to say this card. So we got. Should I try? I'll try. Aizi Ryu Jin. Aizi Ryu Ujin. That's my last attempt. Main, trigger D-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Cool. Then you may place 1 card with X antibody and its type to the bottom of one of your black Digimon with X antibody's types to destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. Security, trigger D-Digivolve 1 on your opponent's Digimon, then destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So, this is the deck you be playing. Like, you playing this?
If I do, I'm taking it as a 1-0.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd rather play Ultimate Flare.
They say it's Ace Ryu Ojin. Ace Ryu Ojin. Thank you. I'm gonna hope that's correct, because that's how I'll say it in YouTube in the future. But yeah, I think it's like a one of. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a one.
It's kind of hard to say too. Dark Gaia Force, black, red, 8 cost. Main, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total play cost adds up to 15 or less and delete all of the chosen Digimon. So, a security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 15 or less. So, nuts.
Okay.
So just nuts, right? Like, this is just insane.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought Gaia... Oh, you know how Gaia Force was good for a really long time? Okay, well, now we're just going to make it AoE.
Right. right. Yeah, no, kill all 3 of them. Fine.
Yeah, why not just give Gaia Force AoE? Next up, we're going to get AoE Kakaitis Breath, and, you know, it's all good.
Oh, no. Please don't.
This card... Yeah, this card's just nuts. This is really good. Like, I don't see you ever playing Gaia Force over this. I don't see...
Unless you're playing a pure red build, but that'd be, you know, not efficient.
It's pretty good. That card's pretty good. And then we got Senbon Dokkan. 9 cost option with a Mamimon on it, so I already know it's going to say something about Mamimon on it. Main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play any number of Digimon cards with Mamimon in their names, whose play costs add up to 15 or less among them without paying their memory cost. This is so funny to read after it's just like, oh, you play this, and then you get Dark Gaia Force right after for 15 cost. And it costs 1 less than this card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 6 or less for each Digimon played with this effect. Trash the remaining cards. So, this is like a really good Mamimon card. But again... You gotta play Mamimon, so how good is it? Really, as far as a Mamimon card, it's probably like an 8 out of 10. As far as like a card, it's probably like a 3.
It's a meme deck card.
It's a meme deck card. Yeah, it's a specific card for an archetype that needs a little bit more support.
A lot.
But I just think it's funny. It's just... You may play any number of Digimon cards with Mamimon, their names, whose play costs up to 15 or less, and then you're just like, okay, Dark Gaia Force.
So, yeah.
That's funny. Alright, then we got Pandemonium Flame, 2 cost, purple option. Main, you may delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the deleted Digimon's level. Security, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a card where it's like, there's a lot of things I could do, but it's like, I think about like the BT7 like Cherubi. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna pop my Cherubi to delete your level 6. I'm gonna bring back like 4 rookies.
Yep. Like this is actually good for purple, because like even deleting the Letmon to pop a level 3 and then delete another level 3 for 2 costs, not bad at all.
Decent card. Decent card.
Yeah.
And we got like borderline nipple lasers. So cool. Oh, we got Mist Memory Boost. Main, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, trigger draw 1, then place this card in your battle area. Main, delay, gain 2. So yeah, this is pretty good.
I like this card.
I like this card. I like this card art a lot. I like how Myotismon is got like Tanamon. They got a bunch of vegetation and just a Cherrymon in the back. It's cool art. I think this is a good card. I don't think this is really... This is like, you're definitely playing this in that Myotismon stuff where you gain a bunch of memory for trash and stuff. You get to gain 1, you get to delay. It's a purple memory boost that is much different than the Glaive memory boost, but still gonna be a card that you can definitely consider playing.
I like how he's teaching them that Myotismon digivolves into either Metal Myotismon or this other.
Yeah.
He's like, this is how it works.
I love it. Flame Hell Scythe, 6 cost, purple, yellow option. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6k DP for the turn. Then you may play 1 purple or yellow Digimon with 6k DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. Security, activate this card's main effect. So, playing this for 6 is probably pretty good. Playing this out of security is just bonkers.
Playing out of security is amazing.
This coming out of security is insane.
Let's see, 6,000 DP, so you're looking at just about any
Yeah,
champion.
or you could just weaken something. You can just weaken something. It doesn't have to kill it. You can make a 12k, make a 6k. You know, there's that. But then you get to play something from your trash, and playing something from your trash on your opponent's turn when it comes out of security. Woo!
Now that's good.
I mean, how many times you like swung in security and you hit like nail bone, and you're just like, oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
It's like, okay, here we go, let's go.
Here we go. Yeah, no, this card's pretty good. I'm a fan. Especially because if you think about it like this, it's like think about this. Think about this. Okay, let's say you have a purple Digimon on the board, right? Let's just say you have any purple Digimon. Doesn't matter. That's the scenario that we're in. It's on your opponent's turn. They swing in, they hit this out of security. Okay, you get to give -6k DP, and then you get to bring back Promo Gatomon, which will then recover and have blocker.
Oh, I forgot about that card.
Right?
Hey,
Right?
that is.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, and I agree. The art is amazing. Like,
Yeah, this
I
art
do
is
like the art.
so good. So much of this art is really good. I mean, we could probably say this art is amazing out of like 80 of these cards.
Yes.
Then we got our last option card. We got Armor Texture. Zero cost option, white. If you have a Digimon with armor in its form in play, you may use this option card without ignoring its color requirements. Trash the top card of one of your Digimon with armor in its attribute. Then, one of your Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon with armor in its attributes in its hand with, by paying its Digivolution cost. If you do, unsuspend that Digimon. Security. You may play a level 3 Digimon card with free in its attribute from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. So, just super good, right?
Extremely good.
Like just borderline insane.
Like just being able to swing with an armor, and then if the armor doesn't get popped or armor released, you then play this. You pop the armor.
Go into
go
Magnamon.
Magnamon, draw a card, and then it unsuspends with blocker, and it's 9k DP just by that alone.
And you get to play a security. You get to play a level 3 free attribute out of your trash. So.
Okay, Vmon.
Okay, Vmon. Oh, and then now I'm gonna search out a dual color, so that way next turn I get to go up into armor.
Right, it's on play. Oh no.
And then you're like, oh, I guess. Well, dang it, I don't have my on play Vmon. I guess I'll just swing jamming next turn. Oh, this sucks. This card's so good. Yeah, no, this card is ridiculously insane. Very good. Please pre-release this card. That's all I have to say.
I think it will be. I can see the space right below the DG Ega cards. I can see it be pre-released right there.
Now we got Creepymon. We're getting into our secret rares.
This is Daemon.
Oh, it is a common. We aren't gonna get a rare. We aren't gonna get a pre-release. It's a common.
Oh, this is Daemon.
Yeah, it is Daemon, but it's Creepymon now because Daemon's too close to Demon.
Right.
When digivolving, trash 2 cards from the top of your deck for each of your opponent's Digimon. If 4 more cards were trashed by this effect, you can play a level 5 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. When attacking, once per turn, for every 10 cards in your trash 3 cards from the top of your opponent's deck, and this Digimon gets plus 3k DP for the turn.
That's so good. That's so good. That is good milling right there. That is
this card. So the fact that this is a secret rare, it is a super bummer to me. I'm not trying to pull this out of the box, if I'm super honest. I'm sure there's people excited about this, but I don't think this card is that crazy. You do have you do have some things that you can do with it, but
Yeah, it's a man card. Like being able to mill 4-6 cards from the top of your
you get to
deck.
mill cards from your opponent's deck. That's pretty cool, but I mean, it's at a pretty high cost.
Well, I mean, when you digivolve, you mill from your deck, and then you play a level 5, which you can play the moment.
Yeah. But it's for every 10 cards trash tree, so it's for it to really be impactful, you probably need 30 cards in your trash. Trashing 6 cards is sick, but if you could trash 9, that's a good port. That's a fifth of the deck.
Right, and that's on when they attack you. So it's okay, at most you would get is 14k DP on this body. You trash 9 cards from their deck. If you want to go a deck out route, here's your card.
Yeah, I think, like I said, this card definitely has uses, but it's not.
It's not a world beater.
It's not for me. I don't think it's that crazy.
I'm sad because Daemon's my favorite demon lord.
But then we got Imperial Paladin mode.
The boy is here.
When one of your Digimon digivolves this card from random, return one white level 7 Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of your deck to reduce the Digivolution this cost by 4, so that would make it 3. When digivolving, when attacking, you return one 2-color card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck to trash all of the Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, return all of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. Oh, and it's 16K, a new record.
Yes, the only Digimon that can match this Digimon's power is Alphamon at full power. Literally.
This
That's
is
insane. This is a great card. Like, for anybody thinking, forget this 7 cost to Digivolve. Forget this return a level 7 white Digimon to reduce it by 4. You 60% win rate this card into play.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah. And I don't know. This card's pretty ridiculous. It's like Nidhogg if on like steroids. It's insane. It has so many synergies. You can get it out for real cheap. Good card. Really good card.
Nerf the typing of it. Because if I remember, it was a Dragonkin, but because that Argomon came out,
it's Ancient Dragonkin. Yeah.
Oh, so you couldn't search it. Oh. But overall, it's a fantastic card.
Good card. This is a pretty sick card. And that does it. That's BT8.
That is BT8 in a nutshell.
That is BT8 in a nutshell. I mean, we have been going 3 hours on BT8.
Really?
Me and Dante were thinking like 2. 1.5,
Right.
2, you know? But this set is just so good. I liked a lot of what was going on here, but I think we get to that point now where it's like, what are your final words here, Dante?
I've hyped up BT7 so much because I think BT7 is meta defining all the way across the board. But I mean, if BT7 in my opinion is a 9, this is definitely a 9 with it. Like it's on par.
Oh, it's so good. The dual colors just are going to add so much. It's going to change the game so much. One thing I don't think a lot of people are going to understand is that with the dual color, it's just like your fundamentals as a player is going to have to like go up to keep up with the like top players, because you're going to be able to have a lot more interactions. The ways you're going to be able to do things, the way you're going to be able to build decks is going to be a lot different. And I love it. I love it.
The floor of the game stays the same, but the ceiling is bumped up by 3 folds.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yep. Easily.
Sheesh. Here we go.
Well, that was BT8. That was our review. Try to go in there, try to get as depth as we could for you all, give our thoughts. Now, obviously, a lot of these things may get better over time with future sets. Some things we may have missed that could have been a little bit better if we thought about this card or that card. But overall, just giving our general thoughts of BT8 here, it was just a very good set, very cool set. We will be going over BT9 and all of that, of course, in the future. We don't know exactly when we're going to be doing our next set review. Probably a few episodes from now, but yeah. This is going to be this episode. I would like if you enjoyed this episode, if it helped you learn anything, if you laughed, if anything like that. It would really help if you all shared this with one of your friends. Get the word out, help us grow the podcast here. Anybody who you think could also learn something or have a good time with this podcast would be greatly appreciated if you go ahead and share it around for us. But with that being said, I think that we are going to get out of here. I am Primitive.
I am Dante.
And we will catch you all next week for next week's podcast. Have a great day.
Peace.